Hello, everyone. A beautiful Sunday afternoon. Na me sign at the neck of the wood sa day. I don't know who's on a day, but any sound a day. I greet you now with any time when I say morning, afternoon, next, good afternoon, good evening, good morning to all my Sierra Leoneans and all the people listening from all over the world. Today is the 15th of August 2021. Wow. August already, September, October, November, December, 4 more months with a count to another year. We tell God thank you for life. We tell God thank you for all things. In all things, there's hello, we tell God thank you. We tell the creator, the master, anyone way you call him, anyone way you see him, that is you, that is on you, how you see him, how you call him, and so it be to you. So tell the creator thank you, the supreme being, where one thing we always say, the one way all the future, where we don't know the future, we can walk towards the future. But now all the future, we don't know what tomorrow brings, we don't know what the next second holds, but we tell God thank you for life. I tell God thank you for every one of una we viewers them. This is Fedima and the social media review again today. We don't come for can talk, but waiting the buzz on SALONE social media, waiting the buzz on waiting heated na the social media, what we feel say important for what we can talk about. Not that other things are not important, but we get for pick some of the things that where we see say most Sierra Leoneans are talking about. And as usual, I get me two co-hosts there with me. We fine gentlemen. The first person is none other than Lawyer Shilon. Lawyer Shilon is a practicing attorney within a defense attorney within North Carolina. He did with we every Sunday as many times like he could. Sometimes we get things that we'll get for do, but he always there for can give himself your opinion on what he feels say they happen and how for let we go before na salon. So Mr. Shilon of over 40 years he don't practice law. Now when they call you like I say, if you get legal issue, you reach out to him, he go advise you now. If you know able help you now, he go direct you now and decide where for go. And me on honorary professor Mr. Kutubu Koroma, where we the VOS then we get the honorary position there, and most Sierra Leoneans agree, even the one themselves where they run the country, they call him professor now because they believe say he's a reservoir of knowledge. Where it camp as salon issue, where it camp at the history of salon, where it camp at politics of salon. Like I can say, very controversial. Some people might not like him sometimes what he say, but now the man we can always say. He is he get degree, he get master's degree in legal practitioner, legal practitioner. I think he's a legal practitioner, and other waiting and call them. He holds a master's degree. In order to do now waiting for do because he's a retiree. But it don't learn, it don't gain a lot of knowledge and wisdom because with wisdom comes age. Age they give wisdom and it don't see, it don't live through president after president them so it know what's in the happen and is a reservoir full of knowledge with salon policy. So man not elect and certain day because they talk on things them maybe the people them way now the leader them where they lead them party them or whatever. Some people not go like them, but like he can always say. He said, I don't get no permanent friends, I don't get no permanent enemy. I can talk today, but you tomorrow, I will praise you if you do good things. So that name is Kutubu Koroma, Professor Kutubu, as we call him, na VOS. And to you, the viewers, of course, me, I don't need to introduce myself. Me don't go talk for myself. Would I be, would I know, I go know, would I not know, I go find out later, And so, like I say, we there for talk on salon business. So una the viewer, this is not the voice of Sierra Leone. This is not the platform where the CEO and founder them, where them be and manager them, where them be sit down together, where they say Mr. Kagbo and Mr. Tali, they sit down say we get for bring a platform home away from home where we Sierra Leone and go talk on the issues and we'll go attract people then for can talk on this platform. Let we talk, let we leader the year, let we fetch for the one that will not get voice, let we put we face to we voice. Because some people when they talk on social media, they know they identify themselves, but we put we face to we voice and talk with team up, and we believe so we team up for the people of Sierra Leone. For let Sierra Leone go change, let every Sierra Leonean get the opportunity where we court of family say unity, freedom, and justice for all. This is where we day now every day. So I will make me two calls, then tell una I do to una the guests of VOS, una the viewers every Sunday una they come, una they can listen, una they come, una they can get, una they take what una they learn, una self they put una own day, we they try for understand each other, for we push Salone go before, because there is diversity, and once we embrace diversity, we understand from one another, we learn from one another. VOS, na the platform this or home away from home. So una share to una friends. I can always say, please, everybody where they watch right now, share this message, share the group. We they go on Facebook. We they also, if some people not there on Facebook, una go na YouTube, una go na Twitter, una go na Instagram, una go na Periscope. We they waiting and call day, and una go subscribe, una like, una share, for let people, then more people then go know and know and know and know. So I'll bring me co-host and let them tell una Dulo can talk on the topic that will get on the table today. And so Mr. Shilon, to you, sir, and then to Professor, wanna tell the people that I do small bit before we go.
Hello. My name is Mr. Shilon, coming to you from the US. Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, any part of the world where you listen to this broadcast. Thank you very much for tuning in. And as usual, we hope say we wanna listen and not forget for say this is what you call a participatory type of program. You listen in, but you participate if you get any question. You can contact me both in terms of making phone calls or sending in text or something of the sort, asking questions. So it's an interactive type of program. So as with the broadcast, so we are having people to listen and getting people to contribute. So thank you very much for listening. And sometimes we do have certain numbers that we always try to bring to our attention just in case you want for making a call, depending on where you are. On WhatsApp is 343-997-5828. 343-997-5828. If you're calling from Australia, it is plus 61 280 064 352. From Australia, the sign plus 61 280 064 352. If you call from the United Kingdom, now plus 44 203 239 9581. Plus 44 203 239 9581. And of course, we get a toll free number when 1-866 944 7722. 1-866 944 7722. So when I can reach me, depending on where you are or which side you day, now any one of the numbers there. Okay, so I hope there will be some good participation today, and thank you very much for listening or tuning in, not listening as yet. Thank you. So I will pass you over to my co-host, Ms. Fadima.
And to you, Mr. Professor Kutubu.
All we understand, I just want to thank you too very sincerely for every week, in spite of all the ups and downs, in spite of all the health challenges, the new corona we don't come, but still they come now for, we only the contribution like Professor C.C. Blake, if you call it, in commend we very much for what you did to do so that when we own contributions, we make back to society. We know the acts what Salone do for we. We in fact we the go show Salone say that this will do for help enlightening, for let help hold candlelight before we brothers and sisters here. For let them know say, believe me, they get a self-worth, they get self-esteem. They say that part of the society, they get something for offer to us in nation in socio-economic, political and cultural upliftment. They for believe in themselves that All they need for you now for try no more. The sky always will be the limit. Thank you very much. And back to you guys.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you very much, Professor. So we want to talk about this corona quick because we know say that in a center for everything right now what they do. Corona, corona, corona. We see America don't go back to masking and most other countries and then they talk on how danger this corona be. And this Delta variant, then they get other new one we don't come where they call Lambada, but we the left handed first. But this Delta variant, it then a free tongue. We see they kill people them all over the world, and now we don't see picking themselves they get corona now. So we get for take caution, we get for take precaution. What will they do? We get for take heed to the one that we sabi. They're all confused right now. They don't know exactly. And salon, we don't see them. We give 1 month curfew. Then we don't put we under the red label, red warning. But we see now again, we see the minister, the Nakovac, Solomon Jamiru, don't put out a press conference release where they talk on. Then they lift the ban tomorrow, Monday, the 16th. The 16, the band they go thing, and then they don't say, you know, they get the thing the way they say una for do. They say if you therefore go to church, you therefore go 1 hour 30 minutes any prayer place una not for take 90 minutes, una not for take past 90 minutes. They don't tell we that they get the guideline the way they don't put forth to the people of Sierra Leone, where you know the suggestion the way they don't make, and the the mask we have for wear a mask, but salon it act for let we keep down there because people are not believe say corona really real, but corona day we get for wear mask. If you ever wear mask, wear your mask. Not say because you know they see people that they for don't they die today can be one tomorrow, you know say a virus they mutate then thing they mutate when they mutate then they turn to other thing. When they mutate, then they turn to other thing and then they kill we. Right now, if the legacy where they give we now, then they make booster shot for the one that were immune compromised. The one that we get something wrong with them, then they make the booster shot for they go able for take inside America now. We got all the medical waiting they call them, we got all the science, we got all the book one then at the head, we got all the money in the world for try for fix this problem here. We're not able to get her under control. So we don't hear they say now they don't begin restrict. Even the Pentagon don't say that they make a mandatory for their soldier them people there within at the armed forces where anybody they they call for take the vaccine or you gonna host if you don't want to take the vaccine because then they make a precautionary they give you option you want to take them or you don't want to take them. If you don't want to take them you know they go chapter you out if you want to take them because then they look and say for the good of the whole it is not by force you get option for either take them if you want to stay in or for gonna host if you don't want to stay because we get for do something where thing we don't see like I say the curfew they be lifted Mr. Shilon we don't see what in the government say all them boku thing when Nakovac don't right they up they let una self freedom for una self we don't hear everything they say and what you think say else you want add to this corona for advice for people because we this coronavirus it there with we force it not ready for go it because the coronavirus they born out a picking it just the double it just a mutate and mutation they cause new diseases where we not get resistant to and that is why they say we get for be careful even we don't get the vaccine we are carriers of the thing we can still be positive some people then they we don't get the vaccine we don't even die of the corona so we all get for be careful this now we all fet this now we all business we all get for come together for fight this corona I pass on to you Mr. Shilon and what you get for what much per corona talk.
Well, of course, you know they add like you say, we'll get another strain, but not to everybody will see them. But then get the curfew, which I think is important. Then say they in effect, it will go remain in
Oh, okay.
effect, will continue. So that is very important. And of course, some of the guidelines were then set, like congregational worship. Now it's good that they say, okay, enough for last more than 20 minutes. I mean 90 minutes, I'm sorry. Enough for last more than 90 minutes. Except for the fact that they talk about face mask, they talk about social distancing, space between worshippers, and hygiene. But I don't know, it may have been helpful, and this is just a suggestion. And when you talk about social distancing, the question becomes, we are, say in churches, in mosque, we they pray shoulder to shoulder. So one good thing will have been what I would still maintain the 6 feet distance from each other, or what I would shorten the distance into 4 feet, whether it makes any difference. But that specification, they are not seeing the new guidelines. So then just say we maintain distances without social distancing, without actually specifying how far are we, if we're going to mosque or if we're going to church, how far are we supposed to stand or sit to the next person, so that will have been helpful, particularly like we own country, we not get the wherewithal. We know say most people not get face mask. There's a good chance people then will go pray, they might not put on a face mask. But even if they do, I think it's important to just say, don't disclose to the next person. So we're just concerned about spreading the disease. But that said, I'm just trying to make sure that we also talk about the mosque then for good proper ventilation, which means the windows then for be open. It will help a great deal if electric fans then they unlike the United States and Canada and other countries and where mosques and churches are air conditioned. In Africa, like we say, we come out, most, if not all, of the churches and mosques are not air conditioned. So there is an issue of ventilation. They get fan, some get a good many of them get ceiling fans. So there may be adequate ventilation in terms of holding down on spreading the disease. But that said, I think everybody understands the implication. You get to do the little bit where you can or make sure, say, intentionally, even when you don't get the vaccine or they don't vaccinate you, you still need try for wear a mask where you get for there in the midst of people. And if you're not there in the midst of people, it's also good for take precautionary measures. So like Ms. Fadima said, you can get them, even though say you get them, and you can pass them on to somebody else. So we just try to encourage everybody for saying, let we all do the little we can. Some people oppose the vaccine, they not they take them. That's well and good. Now people in choice and in free choice. But let we realize it, or even the one that want to come, they'll realize, say, if not for we, but for other people that were there around we. So I pass it over to Ms. Fadima. I think you're muted. I think you're muted.
Okay, I say before Kutubu, Mr. Professor go on. I say Saliu Kaba says in Belgium the Muslim they do they distance themselves, and then Ayo Taylor says what about the markets and the transportation, and then Lucille Judge Gooden Williams say there is no light. Where they talk of the air condition, ventilation, and all that stuff. It is a challenge. We can't get challenge. We get boku challenge. This is why we are here on this platform, trying for make the government try for do what they're supposed to do for the people. Let people in life go easy. Professor, to use that quick on the corona before we go to the second topic, where we want to talk on.
Thank you. Me, very, very brief. The thing is, as the government, put all these restrictions on people, then let them also back come up with the necessary things that we go help the people. Then, for example, at least face mask, government for be able to supply that to people. Then, after all, the government they get money from the international community. Then, and all that. For example, the other time they said in the Fed, but what to see now luxury more to carry go back. The problem about we get all the time priority. If na medical advance on that gets, they get all the thing in the inside then they go from place to place. That okay, but when you go buy luxury motor car, you don't defeat the purpose. So the thing is that we for tell you, it's not only enough for tell the people that we are doing, and let us live by example. But more importantly, now they for take the necessary things that we will help, because now to the extent that even they force you for to take the vaccine, they force you to take the vaccine. So they see the length where the government they go to. So the hope is the financial resources of the nation also go be spent on the health of the citizens. Because when you get good health, then you get a nation. But when you don't get good health, then you don't get no nation. So me go suggest say let government also invest yonder. Then the human capital is when they talk about for see a healthy society with healthy citizens. Back to you, ma'am.
Yeah, a healthy society, now a successful society, because you get for get well body in a part of health, well body in a part of the carrying to the next generation. We get forget well body, and we self get for help. The government get for doing own. We get forget priorities, and then we self as citizens get for doing own. But let we go to another topic where we want for recognize where the minister of lands, because we know say boku land business don't they, we don't talk on this platform so many times. People they don't bring the complaint come. Professor Kutubu they go na Salon Talk Forum too, and they sound off. We don't sound off na VOS, we don't sound off all over the social media about this land problem. People and they frustrate the land. Now the identity of people say this is part of who I am part of this environment, this society, this country. But we see advantage for the longest years. They don't neglect this problem, and they don't turn bona trochpa with people them. They don't turn gogona trochpa with people them. We don't see people them, young man, they don't die live on, we see them, they capture them on video where people and they defend the land, where they kill them because they want them where they advantage. We don't see the syndicates them where they work inside the ministry of land self. We don't see the syndicates where then self get their own problem inside it. We don't see that. And this new minister of land where they put, because we don't see that old one, Dr. Sandy, where they go, they make like Uda case, they run, they go and make noise for people, then they go and take advantage for people. Then presidents be pull them, because just like how we can always say, please is the president, if I unplease the president for pull people, then they. But this new president don't come. Unalo we hear what he say, because it come with good word. This new minister, it come with good word, because we've been played that video last week when then Creo, the new minister of land, Tudor Tennessee. Yes, the Tudor Tennessee speak tough stuff on the land grabbing. It come here, so it team up say we get for stop this, and I like what he talk. We like what he talk on social media. So one bring and can to una like how we say when they do good we go talk am. When they do bad we go talk am. So we can't tell the good news of the people. Say una we get land problem. There is hope. There is hope. There is hope. There is rainbow after the rain. This rainbow don't come out now. When I in the name of Dr. Tudor Tennessee, we don't can talk, tranga talk. Where it team up say this why so we get for stopper. And low yeri for we say then we go come back to una low yeri waiting this man say, because this land business it be don't turn go gegen at road, it be don't turn bone at road, but we the people of Sierra Leone, especially in Freetown, where people they don't get the land from generation after generation. People they just want can take na the land. We take the land and go. So una let we hear for we safe. Waiting the minister say they will go come back to una. Una minister Dr. Tudor Tennessee. Let we hear what he say.
One pan the thing them where we all be done the struggle with in a salon, especially we wait up na Freetown. Now the UK business where they inside out for buy and sell land. And President Bio, where it take power, it talk about how in government ready for fed corruption, tranga one. And one pan the team them where get for do with corruption business. Now the way and manner how people they take land them now this big town here so where we call Freetown. The new Minister of Lands and Country Planning inside President Bio in government don't talk about how the government ready for fed the UK business where they inside land business now Freetown.
Well, for decades now, the Ministry of Lands has been known for land sale and distribution. That is very much synonymous to the activities of the Ministry of Lands and country planning. It has been a lucrative business for a particular set of Sierra Leoneans. This is a country where you have people calling themselves reverend, pastors. You hardly find them in church. They are just out there looking for land, hunting land. It's been a lucrative business. You also have alhajis. They are not in the churches to preach the gospel, but you find them in all other communities just in search of land. So today what we are seeing, we see shanty towns, land communities, etc. But it has been a lucrative business. We do not have diamonds here. Today in the western area particularly, it is about land. There is a complete distortion of the country planning outlook of our cities and towns. No good roads in the communities. Sewage disposal is a major problem. Power and water supply absent because these utilities are never considered when constructing houses. It's very expensive to provide these utilities in an uncontrolled urban areas. There is no area to showcase the beauty of our cities these days. When you go to the other countries in the sub-region, you go to Ghana, you have areas that showcase with respect to the beauties of their own cities. Today in Sierra Leone, we do not have one. Communities are established without social service centers, not even a sightseeing for foreign investors or foreign visitors. We do not have that in Freetown. No planned settings in our cities, and there is a need for an urgent action. And there is no other time other than now, and we are going to take the action. So, ladies and gentlemen, let me conclude that land grabbing is now going to be a bad business. So those that are related or that are family members of those reverends, pastors, alhajis, you should remind them that land grabbing in Sierra Leone is going to be a bad business. Trespassing, cutting down of trees or green plants, building without building permits are all offenses. And we are now going to prosecute people vigorously as a government. My appreciation, of course, at this particular point in time goes to the police because they are not giving us a lot of support. And of course the judiciary. For those offenders that are now in the bad business of grabbing land or building houses without building permits. Building or constructing houses on the foreshores, especially in the western area, is also an offense, and I want to reiterate that. It is an offense. People have not been prosecuted. We are now going to prosecute them. I will go after them. It doesn't matter your status. As a government, we are disciplined, and people voted in this government because of the disciplined nature of the leadership, His Excellency the President. So we are not going to look at your status. If you are found wanting, then definitely they will prosecute you. So we are going to do that. I will do it vigorously. All lands grabbed and of course deceitfully conveyed to anyone in the western area are now going to be reversed and taken by the state again in the interest of Sierra Leone and the Sierra Leoneans. We're going to take back our land, and we're going to make sure that the Sierra Leoneans enjoy the foreshores, the beach land. Today, when you go around, people are just taking the beach land, the foreshores, with no regard for the rule of law. So you may be wondering what we've been doing. We've been putting ourselves together to make sure that we are on the right footing, so that once we start taking the action, nobody should question that one. That's the reason you have not been seeing me moving around holding tape rule to measure land. I have no business in that. My responsibility is to be at the policy level. And that is what I'm doing, to direct the policy actions. So now we are going out to the ground to make sure that what we've been putting together is implemented. And we are going to do that in the interest of Sierra Leone and Sierra Leoneans. That's what we are going to do.
Well, Fambu, now the word that you will get yes, now for yeri lonta. No forget for continue for watching our Ministry of Information and Communications Facebook page.
Well, they say uga yesterday yeri on so them are making say uga yesterday yeri. So all the one the way we don't take people land, we not to the own. Mr. Shilon, I bring you for this. I bring you for this because we all don't put voice for that talk day. This kind way how they do so. Uga yes, make it yeri. Now this minister don't team up tranga one. He say anybody where we don't be in that practice of taking people land, they go get them back now. Yeah, what's not a young? Would I get paper, the right paper for the land and property? They go give them back their property because this done too much. I'm telling you, this is crazy and zero tolerance. I hope say it continue with what it is. So because what I hear so maybe I'm glad. So Mr. Shilon, I bring to you this talk here. So what do you think about what the minister don't say?
Well, I think this is profound. It's extraordinary. It's a breath of fresh air for a minister or a government official making them pronunciations there about waiting people and waiting they affect the ordinary people them. And in fact, this goes beyond the ordinary people because even wealthy people are losing land because some people are wealthy, they have land, but they don't have political connection. And the ones with the political power come and take their land their away. So when you hear the minister say Dentinende, it is a breath of fresh air, if for no other reason than to hear it coming out of the mouth of a government official. That said, you know, there is a very popular phrase in English, you know, word is cheap or talk is cheap. So now we'll go on for see if the president, if the minister go put some action or some meat on the bone, because even when he talk tough about prosecuting violators, them you forget the means. The police know as disciplined as they should be because they too are part of the corrupt practices leading to their land grabbing here. And so we'll get for look into that. The court system is not equipped sufficiently enough for deal with the issues of land dispute, land fraud. You see, the system gets the people, but the structure to deal with these matters is not in place. Because, but these are things when they beyond our ability for cope. It's all a matter of how seriously do we take the issues here for resolving land dispute. Because the minister touched on so many good things there. Neighborhoods don't have good roads, some of them. Anybody who is familiar with the situation, you go to a neighborhood where get almost $1 million homes. The road for go there, you may think you are going in drag racing. I mean, the road's so rough. You can't believe, say, you are approaching a neighborhood that probably has a $1 or $2 million piece of property. And then the minister talk about sewage system, all of this. But of course, on that general land management policy, sewage system, these are strictly governmental functions, which goes to why the mayor and the city council have to impose. Now, if we want nice road, then for going to Wales, if we want to forget the sewage system, if we want to forget good running water, we have to be willing to pay taxes. It makes no sense for people and for go for one for bill million, as long as the tax base is based fairly, you know, and then and it's done methodically. So there are a lot of things what we need for do, what we not to do, what the government need for do, what they not to do, but we not to do what it take, because if we not pay taxes, we not will get sewage system, we not will get good running water system. You know, most of the houses, people will tell you, expensive homes, they not get water pressure. You know, and now the style, which to me is so self-defeating and is so lacking in foresight, is when people in the bill us part of the planning now for buy some plastic tank and make ion water tower where you for put a tank for supplemental supply of water. That is not even not only is not efficient, it's short-sighted because it's not going to do much good. It's almost like the policy where most people adopt back home. Say where you get money, not depend on the government electricity, buy generator. Yeah, but how is generator solving? All generator is doing is adding to air pollution. We Africans, then, we don't think so. We're not a part of this world. Now, only white people and for the comply with all lengthening in there. So when you get thousands of generators making noise, polluting the air, then we expect for live a healthy life. We don't know, say, would it pollute the air, what would it breathe, and how that get effect on we. So there are a lot of irresponsible things then. What would it do? Where we can avoid. The ordinary person on the street doesn't know all the effects there. But the one that would all learn book like Dr. Tura Senesi, and you listen to the man, you will be impressed. The words coming from his mouth. And in fact, he say, in for the at a policy making position, setting guidelines, not to be out there doing certain things where other people will be assigned to do. So this is a man who seems to know what he's talking about, who seems determined to correct the wrongs that have been taking place. And he compare we to other cities and in other countries. I mean, basically telling we are so prideless and shameless that we're not even and strive towards making we city a showcase and making it a healthy place, making it a place attractive to visitors. So it touched on all the major factors there, because we have to be involved in country planning. We have to be involved in beautification of we cities and we country. It talk about the beachland, which is true. I mean, all of these places were once upon a time strictly controlled by government. Now the beach lines have just about all been grabbed and taken, and it will be great. But now, analytically, how is he going to be able to implement or enforce then the plans here? Now, the judiciary has to be involved. Law enforcement will have to be involved. The Attorney General's office will have to be involved. Parliamentarians will have to do their own little contribution to the whole process. So if we do that, we will make a better city and a better country for ourselves. But for right now, I am not so sure how well we are going to do with respect to all the people where we just have become so crazy about grabbing people's land. And unfortunately, this land grabbing, the practice is either exclusively prevalent in the Western area or mostly in the Western area, because you don't see people grabbing land in Kalam district, Pujam district, Bo district. I don't hear anything of the sort, or Koinadugu or Tonkolili or Bombali. But everybody is trying to grab. And the sad part about it, these lands that are being taken away belong to people. It's not like they're just there. And the government has what used to be called crown land before independence, and that will continue for calling crown land. But our crown land day, now government's land wouldn't be the government they keep for future generations there. Then we get policy that we are giving, even the little land where government would give the land away, forgetting the fact that Sierra Leone is part of this world. Sierra Leone will have to be in existence for another million or more years. So if government take all the land and shape and give away and disperse, so what's going to be left for generations 50 years from now, 40 years from now, 70 years from now? We're not even thinking that far, but we should realize that Sierra Leone is not going to vanish from the face of the earth just because we don't give up all the land or we don't give up all resources as we're doing. We're selling, we fishing and coastline to Chinese them. No appropriate studies being made for let we see how beneficial both in terms of employment and getting the resources from the sea for be able for market and to people them at a reasonable rate. We're not engaged in that. Instead, for a government, they sell a place called Black Johnson, when about by the peninsula by the sea for $55 million. Well, to any government, $55 million is almost like when you sell something to me for $55. Why will any government want for sale an entire coastal area to a foreign investment or a foreign company for $55 million? It's beyond me. Then in promise we do not do any projection for say they go hire so many people and just say it will create employment. Those vague terms. So there are a lot of things we need for do for help we serve. And a good word here is something. If we can get, I believe if we can get 4 or 5 more well-spoken ministers like Dr. Tura Senesi, and I think the other impressive minister, I think he continues to be the Minister of Information. He too was a very impressive minister because he kind of show. He was able to explain and defend, not necessarily that we agree with him, but at least he was able to come on the show and explain to we certain things them where they come under a ministry. So that said, I just want for it's a breath of fresh air for Yeri, a minister, come up and they talk, say, land grabbing soon is going to be a thing of the past. But I get some suggestions how the ordinary people and we get money, we get land for make the minister in pronouncements them become a reality, because there are a lot of things that will have to be done to make the minister in wish come true. So I pass it over to you, Ms. Fadima.
A breath of fresh air, Mr. Shilon, a breath of fresh air for Yeri with Minister. The low Yeri waiting professor think Bodande, because like he say, beautification, how for beautify this area. We don't see they don't build outside, we're not supposed to build. We don't see with people then they do lawlessness for the longest time. Not so this administration begin a more the people themselves get problem. We they do what we not saying are wrong, but we continue for doing. The government says they save one for let the people they vote for them so that they left they let them do anything. How for Duam, we all get for coming this together. It can be done. We all gonna be optimistic here, say it can be done. But how for Duam, the people, if you get the leader, me believe in leadership. If leadership is good, the people are gonna follow. You can influence your people to do the right thing. You can put law, zero tolerance for certain thing them. We can do them. We can do them. We can go back and do them. They want they will not get business for the day. Una get for friendly government get for subsidize. Who said they go friend us for day? But we can do them. We can put priority part in the way important. We can do them, Professor to user. We can do them. I believe say we can do them. Professor, we don't hear me. And you know one of the big voice. We don't go all out in social media for you read this. What do you feel? How you feel when you read this minister talk on this thing as well?
Well, this is how I look at in things fall apart. You get a passage which say the lizard that jumps from the Iroko tree to the ground unhurt, we praise himself if no one else does. So when without dictum there are things I get for praise. You see this talk where this man can't talk, so I'm going to take credit for everything. Here's how. One, he directly did on the page now a SALONE forum dealing with issues, comment and analysis. Everything I broadcast are they sent also to him. He gets up. Now when they talk about all of the things, especially the prophylactic measures, them where they talk about this land grabbing, now things are going. Now when they talk so this morning, they get a broadcast of which we sent to them about the corruption inside your ministry, the lands ministry, and the SLRA ministry. Today broadcast will come up, he gets them. He listen to. When in people they inside in ministry, they go the Victor 4 way. The Victor 4 way means voucher gate. When they don't have voucher gate, visit, put in fraudulent papers and for go to Ministry of Finance for go get money. You know, remember that Hamilton land and land owners where almost every day they talk about them. The land. where they take from the people then for even getting the compensation and not do so now again people then including the permanent sector. I get it all. If now go for me broadcast today, now they see and name they all let's see. So the hope is just what they tell we can always tell Mr. Bio and government. It is good for can make all the pious pronouncement here. Then grandiose promises them. But it can for be followed with action. It can for be very concerted action there. Tangible one way the citizens they go see when they go. In one of the broadcasts today, I tell President Bio, it will find out very hard for go back to the citizens them in 2023 for go stand on the moral high grounds, say na the champion for fed corruption, where even within your ministries and agencies them, you see the exponential corruption. We don't take hold in things. And one sort of the lands ministry and the SLA. So the talk where Mr. Dr. Chugasanesi talk is very good. The hope is let them now put it into action. And how do they put into action? Again, you know, like we obviously Mr. Shiron will be at the out. If every branch of government is not succeed, it fail. One branch of government will not for fail. Now the judicial branch of government for fail. The reason why the judicial branch of government for fail, because they act as the bastion for the constitutional liberties them. When all is said and the world get complained and the courts that they'll get for cargo, now get for midwife situation. We don't get land cases away. I tell God thank you where I work with a lawyer where he put me through a lot of things there. There's get cases away day before me wait at the broadcast of me. A land case way down there before a judge justice Nicholas Wamak since 05 he don't make no decision on that thing since 05. I get more cases and way they come into Dr. Kalong heavy prints out. So for let Dr. Senesi come say for let them get the grip on the bicycle handle, let them hold on. They get for first police the judicial arm of government that they first and they for go. When they get the judicial arm of government working, so then people are where they engage in that kind of conduct there, so they will get for face unintended consequences. But as far as me concerned, it's like just election purposes for letting sweet or for letting try for associate the misgiving. Because I can tell you, they don't take too much pounding, including him. They don't take too much pounding for me. You don't take too much pounding. Now I'm glad you can say the lizard that jumps from the hero tree to the ground on hot, nothing fall apart. Go praise himself if anybody. This now one particular way they praise me say now me pressure on them, the exposure on them. Now they bring this out so, but we know they relate, so they continue. And at the big viewers let them send this link to me. Oh no, this broadcast let them send them to me. Now are they used to man as a backdrop for the broadcast now for a reminder of waiting we are seeing now. The pressure has to continue. Then finally on this, when you talk about the physical look of the other column, yes, the problem is we go attribute that to visionary leadership now in a SALONE. From the time where we get independence, from 1961 we get independence, from the leaders that we don't come from Mitsumagai to contemporary times, we don't get visionary leaders. Nigeria, and then at the second capital, they look say Lagos not too big, you don't get congested. What they get they move to other place. Leadership with all these resources will get this much thing away for bring you money every now and then, but all time big with the big when the money come will not use them properly. So the poor and the lack of visionary leadership, visionary leaders and poor leadership in the country. Now in a part of them the problem they are what they go so. Because like when you in America, so no way they even park before somebody in us. Let alone go inside, go grab a property. It's so unheard of. It's so unthinkable. But when you live now a place where the logic of lawlessness, when I don't grip the fabric of the society, where everybody now the jungle farm mentality, now the animal farm mentality, these are the things that we see. The hope is, and with the pressure coming from us, Dr. Tennessee now will move from talk, sweet promises to actions. Back to you guys.
Thank you so much. Like I say, vision. Vision. Without vision, you dey perish. You can be leader, but if you don't get the vision for carry forth the mission, you will perish. We will talk later on about the mayor in on side where they ask for help, because in this video we want tie all things together, but one go to main topic first, because the mayor they ask for international help, because the mayor they try for beautify Freetown. They try for beautify Salone, they try for beautify Freetown. We talk on we say we want tourism. But how this minister talk and say, Dr. Senesi say how we bring tourism where we not get we not get nothing for show na Freetown. But that this week they talking at VOS. But they say, oh, una left for bring old glory back. Una left for talk for old talk. But if you don't get nothing for compare to how it been there before, how you gonna know how for Kerango, where been there before Trade, how you gonna know thing for Kerango before. But let's go to the main topic for today. The main topic for today na Salone the money, the currency. We minister, the bank governor, Professor Kalon, we hear him, he talk, then they say, he want for bring a new currency come, he want for put a new face inside with money. But me not an economist, and I get economics na economics na VOS. We don't decide say no one put in face na camera, but we go call we. Not of us say no one put in face up because you don't done a camera before. And beaucoup people when like I they broke down. So you go for can make we will not sabi how you go for can explain to we. What you wanna think? What you wanna think about this money here, so this business here? What you wanna understand? But what in this bank governor say? We want for your reform on the phone line they open. Waiting on own take on this governor in sense way can put before to we. A talk on say they therefore put the money, they therefore make new money them. So when is zero, then come up at the money. Where you not see boku zero, you not go afraid. So you want to use psychological effects. We're good for economics. Because then get the way where they can use that day for use with psychic for let we able for spend their waiting and call. But it is really go work na Salone. We don't see in reference in talk way talk, in reference Ghana. But then it talks back again, we get for produce. Salone sabi produce. We don't begin produce rest, but we don't see it harvest. We don't put money. We don't see investor. They don't come put money foreign partnership. They don't come put money per week. But we not see it how they go. We not see that yet. We president we don't talk from the beginning. Say they get farm. Well, today we not see na Pepe. I think na Pepe. I see with Mrs. Bio been able to be showing a video every day. Then I farm. Say go pick Pepe. But we don't know yet. We not see. We not get money. We not get in the world they send for go sell. We go give it foreign exchange. So we go call later. But what you wanna think as Sierra Leoneans? How wanna see this? It go work na Salone. It go work. What is government in proposal for the new currency? What you wanna take? What you wanna think? Salone people there. What you wanna think? What you wanna understand by that? But we go bring we experts later. When our economists, we don't do na Canada. All these years they don't learn that the government of Canada they work for. And our economics, they do they in our economics, then they budget, then they work for the federal government. We go bring a car later. But say we wait for una for call. The phone lines are open.
Please, thank you.
Huh? So to Professor Kutubu, I bring you first inside this thing because I hear we have a caller on the line. But I just hold on a caller. Why Professor hold on? Let me hear from Salone people and first. What I wanna take this new money. I want to understand bottom the zero that they lost. But then if the zero then lost, what it mean to we the Salone people then? What it mean for grow the economy? What it mean? The minister, the bank governor, did he do it for the good of Salone, or did they do for score political gain? We don't know. We just they ask the question. So now we put so we call them. Good evening, caller. Waiting at your name and also they call you from, please.
Hello?
Yes, caller. Good evening. What's your name, please? And also they call you from.
Good morning from me outside where I dey call from.
Okay, good morning there. Good morning, sir.
No, yes, Mama. Mama, me say this thing don't baffle me. I don't go through me thoughts. I don't even know how to start this thing. The implementation of the reduction of the 3 digits not for the bad if only there was a provision. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Hello.
Yes, we hear you. Go ahead. You did live.
Well, the question we will fail for ask yourself, waiting at the mechanism the way then people are put in place, where them will just grab overnight, say or do waiting they want. In fact, they don't value the citizen of that country there. They're not if we make anything. All right. For me, it is good because we country today, now the West Africa, if I can check, if I can remember well, we get the poorest, how you call it, money, in terms of the exchange rate. But you don't go just grab overnight. You do not make any consultation. You not ask people, and officer then do any findings based on waiting they want to do so. For do them thing and they get a great impact. They get an effect also. The impact, if there was a provision, we not get correct energy. We not get no factories. We not get no industrial thing that running. Talk less of business going on. How many country then where we share border with? Now only two. And we say the money they circulate now only SALONE Guinea and in fact not so inside SALONE. Now only the borders and this money they circulate. That's the end of it. I'm happy it is well with itself where there is no provision. This thing really get for affect back with economy, it get for affect the livelihood of the people. I don't know. Them people and they just take it for granted. They don't want they can just do anything they want. I don't know who would they go. Then the minister they lie on people with impunity, how the money is too big for travel with. The size not even do for wallet. Whose wallet where they will able carry with money? The people and just they lie with people with impunity, as if people are stupid or people are blind. Where they don't squander the money so much that they're not. They're afraid for let people not see much about them or with the international community not talk much about them. I'm sure now the children for hide from this thing because there is no proper foundation based on this theory in the book. No proper evidence. I guess me thought now I'm like other people in chance.
Thank you so much, my brother. Thank you. I know there are calls coming in. Caller, let me take another caller because one play for them one day for the benefit of them Salone people them. We not be here waiting the minister say while we all here so we all go able for analyze, we all go able for break and down. Who sense you get pa what you hear what the minister say. Then we also get another audio where Sylvia Blyden make a comment on this particular one. So I feel say it necessary for that play at least one other person how he feel about this money business here where this governor bank governor don't put forth. So we see other tweets them, other people them all over. They're going crazy for waiting they don't hear from the bank governor. So let we take another quick. Then we go play this audio because I know say another caller. Let we take one more caller. Then the other one. Then please, una go hang up for we. Una go hold on. You go there on the line. You hold on for we. Let we go come back to una. I promise. But let we yeri for which we own yes. Waiting the governor say so we go able make we own decision for we safe. Not a waiting person tell we no more. So let we take another caller. Quick caller. Waiting on your name and who side you call from, please.
Hello, viewers. This is Umaru, the call from Switzerland.
Yes, Mr. Omar from Switzerland. Good evening, sir. Good morning, your time. Yes, go ahead.
Yeah. First of all, we tell the government thank you for this initiative.
Mm-hmm.
yes, there are concerns, and then concerns very legitimate. And then the government for come out and explain to the people, try for educate the people about the process. But economically, psychologically, yes, it get an impact, because when you get a use for 1 million, then somebody tell you say that 1 million or 100,000 euros. Yes, we can all can understand that, you know. But other than that, let people not afraid too much, because the same value where the 10,000 get, now that same value they that other money they forget where they change them. Now only the name they change, but the money still stands. If you buy cement for 85,000, now if you not say they don't reduce 30, no me say, but the same amount you get for buy that cement, now the same amount is still get for buy them. Nothing not change. Now only the zeros they reduce. Yes, the bank governor right when it talk about standard. I don't know that man which type of wallet they use, but we all know say the wallet that they use 10,000 euros not big for we wallet them. You know, and the standard of we money is not that much good, you know, a very big that one. Then two, if you grab here, you say you go send money. Believe in me, now then forex and then we'll begin to tell you this. When you tell them say 1 million person, the Tom Force would scare the watch you. You know, we money lack the value. You know, we all know say yes, this you know will create that too much impact, but at least it go help for curb down the inflation rate we get to that country. So what thing we do for concern with now? Me not to the name. What thing we concern with now? Now the cent. If the government will still keep the cent, and if the government will make the cent useful, let we not see a system wherein the 10 cent and the 5 cent will disappear. Just like we will get 100 loans or 50 loans already disappear in the country. You know, let government, when they implement this money, let them count system that this cent will circulate in the market. Like when Europe they do them, they get things that when they sell at least 95 cents, anyone they get that 5 cents, 10 cents, then they put on top. At least let the money keep rotating. So now that we concern, and we hope say then will come again, educate the people and more not to win now. Some of we don't understand, but them mommy where in a village, where they down Kurubola, where they down Kaila, not understand. You got to go explain here. I say, Mama, that 10,000 you get now, na 10 years. You know, I think in a day, but for say rather than really criticize the system is good and then take it in good faith, and some of we support the system because we know say na a very positive move, you know. But at least they need more education. Thank you very much, viewers.
Thank you, Mr. Omar. Thank you so much. We're glad for what you don't say. But una let we for them people them the other caller them please una hold on for we are big. I promise una go can't una because this is not the voice of Salone and we want to get everybody in take on this and we want for put to the people. This now waiting the bank governor say. Una let we hear for we say flow hear which way is not to waiting Fadima say not to waiting Mr. Shilon say not to waiting Professor Kutubu say now waiting the governor say. Una let we listen to the governor of the Bank of Sierra Leone. Let we hear what he say.
Kamara inside this interview. In the not too distant future, Salone will get a new currency that we'll call the new Leone. So a 1,000 Leone notes now, the new Leone will be 1 Leone. And the size of the new Leone will be smaller than the current Leones we get. One, again, for transaction purposes, with currency too big relative to other countries. People not even able to carry in the wallet. And so we are going to go to the international standard, make the Leone smaller to fit the international standard. But also it lowers cost for us. We just spend too much money on printing money because we get these oversized notes. You say the 1,000 euros, where we don't change them, we go to 1 euros. We get different currencies, then we get 1,000 euros, we get the 500 euros, we get the 2,000 euros, we get the 10,000 euros. What thing will be the fate and how then will they after this process? Then all of them is say, will they print a new Leone of 1 Leone, which will be 1,000. There will be a new Leone for 2 Leones, which will be 2,000 now. Then we will get a 5 Leone note when at 5,000. We will get a 10 Leone note when at 10,000. And we will get a 20 Leone note where it will be 20,000. For make people they're not confused, we will keep the design of the old notes and the new notes the same. So if you see that brand new note, you will know say this is the 10 new leons note, which is equivalent to 10,000 leons. Whose value this gets? What's the economy? One, it will reduce the transaction cost where households and business people they go through for care money go. It will reduce the risk. You go to a bank now, many people they tell you say then go to a bank, then they're afraid for let them come out with all that money, then they fall at them. So that will reduce the risk of those things happening. But more importantly, it will provide a psychological boost. That's what has happened when countries they don't redenominate. It provides a psychological boost to the people of the country saying the economy the better. And therefore they will work hard.
Now something don't happen. We're not done. We're not done the audio. We didn't finish it. We not finished the audio. Something happened, but Mr. Shilon, I go to you, sir. Professor, I mean, now you have one go to on this one. I know say you make a broadcast on it because we per the audio and we not get all the audio and not play. I don't know why we get technical difficulty with it and not play all the way. But the interview go on where it explain what how the other people then do
In the not too distant future, SALONE will get a new currency that we'll call the new Leone. So,
Bank Governor, now we look at the dollar rate as it is. $100 now
in check. Before, I believe that the time is right. And the hoarding of Leone also created an incentive because it became unsustainable. At the charter plane for bring money, spend it far will continue. As I said, we will begin. One of the first things we have been want to do as governor, now for redenominate. We have not been for able to do them in a time when there was rampant inflation, when we been get fiscal indiscipline, government they just spend money. I had to put all of those things in check. Before, I believe that the time is right. And the hoarding of Leone also created an incentive because it became unsustainable. At the charter plane for bring money, spend a lot of money as a kind of loss. We cannot continue this. So now with the get new Leons, you will don't go keep the old Leon, you go face and count.
So, Bank Governor, now we look at the dollar rate as it is. $100 now almost 1,080,000 leons na the market. This plus other inflation issues. Whose role this new money go play?
The number of zeros where you get on the money, we economists we just call a numeraire. Now just, you can reduce the number of zeros or you can add the number of zeros. What thing that determine the value of a currency is the productivity of the people of that country. Now, where we do redenomination, what thing don't happen in other countries is that where you redenominate, people the psychological feel say their money get value, and therefore they are going to behave in a way where the currency go appreciate initially. But if you not keep sound economic policies, if you not keep the productivity of the country up, you go back to Usa you been there. I believe say this is not the right time for Leo do this because mining is coming up. There is quite a bit of investment in agriculture going on and all of that stuff. We're going to reduce our demand for foreign currency for bring in rice and other things. And so this is not the right time.
When SALONE people go see this new money come to the market?
When we're ready.
How soon will not go ready?
The law say we forgive the country at least 90 days notice. When we're ready, we go announce the money go come on this day.
But we not get that specific day as it is.
It not make sense for that, I tell you now.
What in the process is then that we will on now for change this money?
We don't make the order for let them print them and print the coins.
How soon will we see the currencies?
You want to ask the same question in many ways. I am not going to tell you that. It don't make sense for that, I tell you. When we're ready and we want to inform the public, we go say on day so and so, will they begin the conversion. But for now, it's not wise, just as it's not been wise for that, even talk about this until you're ready.
Well, I just start like we picking then a candy store and damble the candy before now we want for no more. We want for understand they don't order the money, but we then ready. But the law said they get for go to parliament back. How they go do them? We don't know yet. Low left that side they force. La come to you, Professor Kutungu. You make a broadcast on these 10 days here. What do you think? But what do the bank governor don't say? What thing that you don't take?
Thank you.
You don't take understanding for this because we get for bring Mr. Cargo inside. We get for explain to we not understand economics. Lay it tell me. Go ahead, sir.
Well, thank you. Well, me always say, to know me in history, I always talk history. The history, the context of what you just said. You know, when we been get people, then we actually, well, we go back to the last person we run the bank for we, and Governor Gordon Hall, we not be white fellow, we come out now with him. We been the work now the Bank of England, we come. And they out a good stock. Remember, we really get Bank of SALONE, it came to first 1964, now it came to effect. We'll get with users, we'll move from the pounds, shillings, and all that in the so Governor Gordon Hall laid a very strong foundation. He go. He handed over the first black man candidate, Mr. S.B. Nikukol. Mr. Nikukol continued on that line, it's a fiscal management, making sure that the central bank, they own role, they stay with them. Whether for supervise the other, financial institutions there. Strictly on monetary policies there. Instead, you go, they'll get the second black man who can take over Governor Samuel Asana Bangura. What you do is stay with the policies there, supervising the banks there, regulating them, making sure the government meets payroll and all that. If government owe, they pay all that. Because they are strictly until politics begins to sit down inside there. When politics begins to sit down inside there, governors and now they owe their job not because of their professionalism, not they owe their job as long as they go the boot leak going along, even when they don't say they are the policy. For example, inside this SLPP government, just the way I've been making podcast, you get what you call profligate spending now. You get irresponsible spending now. You get people in the spend, the government is spend more than it get. So in every now and then a deficit. The role of the governor of the central bank, now you place that for example, the man talk about indiscipline. That now me make a joke, I made that broadcast yesterday, where we talk about indiscipline. There's a lot of indiscipline, financial indiscipline inside this administration as well. The former Minister of Finance, we don't be Chief Minister now, we all hear where he can't talk, say, let the president spend any kind of money, for be accountable to nobody, how any responsible society also get fiscal policy that anybody will make that. So I think say waiting the governor need for the first now, and Dr. Kaki already accuse them. Waiting for me first, let the do last. Waiting in it for the first. For see how he go here will reign in this government as well for this excessive spending on white elephant projects them. Because remember, we not to an export-oriented economic nation. We everything are up to matches where they like for go small cigarettes, now import to the importer. So with all of that here, so you wonder whose side we economy be able for sustaining it. So I think the emphasis here for being on discipline first, making sure that there's discipline, and the only way that will happen, let the governor not be worried as how long he will get for then at the job. They know what say, if he impose discipline on the people, then they will remove and let it when they already tell put Salio first. Let it put Salio first by making sure the economic progress we go get the country go before. Now you go pursue as opposed to waiting to get either SLPP go before or waiting to get APC go before. No. So when the governor return back to the core mission of waiting the central bank there for the only they call them the federal reserve system. When it go back to the mission I think say we will begin get we hand on the basic mercy. So now me your contribution that man.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much for that, Andy. Mr. Shillon, you are wrote in the bank governor, so like how they say reckless spending with governments and just they spend like say waiting. And the bank governor, the role of the bank governor now for control the economic thing or growth and waiting and call of the country for direct the country for go usai waiting and call the nine all the money for the country nine the watchman for the money for the country. And during the 80s, we see a bank governor where they been killed because where bank governor Sambangura where been get killed because he refused for do waiting at that time was Shaka Steve them from that OAU term, the 70s and all that stuff. They from that OAU term they where Salone want make the OU where this man team up say no, we not get money for that. We see waiting come up behind that. The man was killed, the man was set up, the man was killed, he left Bonfi, nobody, nothing not come up behind that. You know, and now we don't hear read this bank governor they talk about the fiscal indiscipline of we leader them of the government where the government of the day too it try to cover that put her in place because if we not a country or where they produce how we go get foreign exchange and it talks say it for use the psychological effect for try for win the people. But if they want their way, say, then they keep the money in a house. Okay? Some people they keep the money in a house because they no one gonna bank the same money. No, they say the money they disappear, people then they keep them. You know, feel what do you feel say go happen to them people they will get the money. If they bring the money then bring and can put on at the market, then change it to foreign exchange, then flood the salon market with that broke money they would and say they get. Will that help the country if in your understanding? Will that help the country? Because I therefore bring Mr. Kagbo in. Let me explain to we will not understand because me being confused. He said when you drop the zero, 10 Leone go turn to 100,000. But then one of we call him Mr. Umar say it could be the same. It could just be say no more. The money looks small, but at the same value that 10,000. Waiting 10,000 they buy 1,000 10 Leone will buy now. Waiting 10,000 Leone be they buy 10 Leone will still buy them. It go get the same value. Just be say the denominator small. The zero don't come out. The zero don't disappear. So it will scare people. Because me don't understand though. Me not learn economics, but the small ones. So what do you think? Mr. Kago, Mr. Shillon, before I bring Mr. Kago in.
Well, for me, very briefly, and I'm all in favor of Mr. Kagbo coming in, but just for touch on some brief issue. Number one, we talk about the appointment and the staying in power of the bank president or the bank governor. Well, I know well versed in how whether the bank governor stays at the pleasure of the president. But if that's what it is, it's bad because bank governorship for be a position where the bank governor comes in, they get a specific time period for serve, unless for cause, and the president not forget the power for sack 'em. That way they get the independence we need for control the flow of money in the country. But if that freedom day not there, if you not get that flexibility there, no matter how well intentioned the bank governor is, he will always get for adhere to the wishes of the president at the time. The example where you just give so Shaka Stephen and Sambangura is a classic example. Shaka Stephen, selfishly, short-sightedly, let ego get the best of him. The one host OAU meeting in Australia among the many things them Australian began to do at the time. They want the bank governor tell and say, we cannot afford it, where economy not will sustain this kind of thing at the time. As in the old rascality way of Stevens, he pretend like for say I agree with the governor and then undermine the governor. Next thing you know, the governor had been assassinated. So we know some of the dirty stories in our country and the kind of leadership that country did not get. Leaders who don't mean well for the country. We know love the country. And Stephen, there's plenty of stories about Stevens when it comes to that, but we're not to touch that today. So me believe say number one, the bank governor. From here on, a need for the independent, a need for no and job is not under any threat. he needs to know that he cannot be removed. So he can come up with sound fiscal policies them who could help the country. Unless we delink. And you know what's surprising to me? I once listened to the video of Professor Kelfala Kalon before President Bio came to power, when he was putting out videos. And I remember him talking about the same thing where they talk about. So now that you for delink the Ministry of Finance and the president from the Bank of Sierra Leone, that the governor of the Bank of Sierra Leone should be completely independent. But I don't know what you know happen now that the minister in which don't come true in terms of getting the position. I don't know why you know advocate that when he do say anything where he get for advocate or talk about now what the president want for make it do. The other thing where they talk about the largeness of the money, I'm a little bit confused in terms of the way if they talk about the actual size of the notes then, well, I get difficulty with that. But I do know say maybe taking away then zeros then they go help, because I've been to Freetown. When you change $100, you get this large amount of money, large quantity of money, where you get for carry around. Nobody has a wallet big enough as it is now to carry $100 equivalent in leones. There is no, you can't. There is no wallet big enough for taking. It's just a large quantity of money. So that alone, to me, justifies the cutting down on the zeros. So just like here, where we could put $100, now you shirt pocket or your wallet or your back pocket, and there is nothing to it, we can do the same thing. So, but right now, $100 equivalent to win a 1 million is a lot quantity-wise. It's a lot of money. And by the time you start, you try to buy a piece of property for $500. By the time you want to buy something for $1,000 in Sierra Leone, it's a large quantity of money for which you really actually need for those $1,000 purchase.
You need a suitcase.
you really need a bag or a suitcase. It's true. So I don't know whether that's what, I don't think that the governor to talk about, but that's what I will be talking about. If for no other reason, we need to cut down the zeros then, for minimize the quantity of money one is moving around. So because it makes no sense, you know. That said, I will yield to Mr. Kagbo what you want for call, make Ego
Yes.
Tafo explain economic implications then of this new policy. Me on from the layman standpoint,
Yes.
I just think say cutting down the zeros them go be good, because it go enable we for carry and go give value to the money, because then when I get me 100 Leone in my pocket, what can be, I know say I dey carry a valuable amount of money, we now $100 I can't carry them by myself.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay, Mr. Thank you so much, sir. I'm trying to decide here. Do we give Sylvia Blyden the floor first, or go to Mr. Kagbo? Because let we go to Mr. Kagbo. Let Mr. Kagbo explain to the person that we don't understand, to me and you, because you say you find it difficult to understand. The tanglement is in there, all that entanglement, we want for pull the spider web, we want for scattergam. Lay that Mamina village, me and you we sit on a classroom, a kind of tranga for low understand a well one. But we get people that we master that subjects they we then call economics and how they work. And possibly we don't practice, and not only we learn in a classroom. Now we play Sylvia Blood in Young Force. That makes sense. We don't learn in a classroom. We sit down. We don't learn but in a classroom. We don't work on a back. Not only theory, you don't practice how then they do, how the government they do. You don't work for boku year for what they call. But now we go to Sylvia Blyden. Now we are what with sister. They talk on this issue, because a lot of people put out tweets. We see tweets from different people them now the Twitter. We see people that they talk on that. But now we are going to we own sister Sylvia Blyden say, because this is not the voice of Salon. Why are people first before we bring we own expert and I go come on camera, but when I go hear voice, na founder of VOS, na one of the people that we found VOS in. We don't see a boku boku na the camera. They been getting your show, but for from this corona and different thing the way they do not allow them for come back na on screen, for a long time. So, but let we listen to Sylvia Blyden, then we go come to Mr. Cargo. Let we listen what Sylvia Blyden say.
Lamin Kostu Darami Abdul Fatoma John Benjamin Jr. Well, I not go add Robert Malcolm Taylor because I see him don't cleverly escape from the morass we una don't find una safe. He don't escape. He don't say he not sabi law. But you see, this issue really not a law. This not common sense. And quite frankly, this not a disgrace that you actually get lawyers them. And this me audio, I dey give una permission, make una release them out of this group. And they waive me confidentiality clause inside the group, make una share them out to those lawyers them where they out yonder, where they actually tell una say the bank governor get the powers for do this nonsense where he don't issue out. So today when I put out this audio, that's public notice of the bank governor. It's a disgrace, it's an embarrassment, it is a big blunder. When you read them, the inanity them where they inside it, these are just the common sense part. I'm not even come to the law yet. These are just common sense. The inanity where they panda public notice, it's embarrassing for somebody where suppose for be in charge of we central bank. This is a man where they tell we say the two sets of notes them, the one where it don't knock off the 3 zeros and the one where the 3 zeros not knocked off, that for a period of time spanning several months, they will go side by side as legal tenders inside this country under the same denomination of leons. And you see, if we not just use on a common sense, I mean, let not even reach the law side yet. Let us just use common sense here. If the same currency, the same description is going to be leons, 5,000 leons, 10,000 leons, 2 leons, 5 leons, with no differentiation between the two currencies being used at the same time, parallel to each other. This is not just common sense. So you dey tell me now, say that Makituman go dey, he all one money when at 2,000 leons, he all one other money when at 2 leons, both of them denominated as leons. Then you tell them Makituman say, this one when at 2,000 leons and this one when at 2 leons, now the same money. Oh. There is no differentiation there. The same money would be working at the same time. This is not just common sense aspect. And then when I just imagine, if me, for example, don't sign an agreement, let's say a 10 years agreement, I take out a loan for 10 million leons, and I for pay I don't sign a contract agreement with whosoever give me the 10 million leons. Say I for pay them 1 million leons every year for the next 10 years. Then now you come now and tell me now, say, I still they use that money when in leons, but that leons now I for knock off 3 of them. When I get a legal agreement where write leons, this bank governor not even understand, say, if it a knock off 3 zeros from a currency, the currency can no longer be called leons. No longer be called leons. And if it can no longer be called leones, for example, it can now be called new leones, it means to say the prefix of that currency they now where they write contracts or they write transactional documents like invoices or receipts or rent agreements, where they write these contractual documents, it means to say now there should be a different prefix. In other words, you can no longer use LE. You can no longer use leons. There has to be something different now. It now has to be called new leons, and the prefix will no longer be LE. The prefix will now have to be something different, like maybe NLE for indicate new leons. If you go to Ghana, for example, when they do the same thing, they don't call it CD again. They now refer to the new money as Ghana CD. So the writing of the prefix is no longer C. The writing now is GHC. So if the bank governor they come for create this scenario where they drop off 3 zeros, then clearly section 26 of the Bank of Sierra Leone Act of 2019 has to be amended. It has to be amended. This is just one of the sections that has to be amended before the bank governor could even get the authority for do what he do so today. What he has done today is inane. It is one of the sections that has to be amended before scenario where it drop off 3 zeros, then clearly section 26 of the Bank of Sierra Leone Act of 2019 has to be amended. It has to be amended. This is just one of the sections that has to be amended before the bank governor could even get the authority for do what he do so today. What he has done today is inane. It is the height of inanity. Now, law come to the law, the legal aspect. Because, you see, it's so unfortunate. I don't know who this lawyer who una say una they talk to, because una they can una say this lawyer say this lawyer say that. In fact, I go first of all like for know this lawyer. Let not even waste me time. They come to the legal aspect for argue with whosoever na this lawyer who una say they tell una this information. I go stop at this point and I go ask una and I go challenge una. Say let any lawyer come and tell me, say the bank governor under the Bank of Sierra Leone Act of 2019 gets the powers for knock off 3 zeros and reprint new notes and allow that new notes therefore be called leons. Like you read that lawyer day, then I can take her on. But for now, no go by just the ordinary common sense one I don't tell una so. Yeah, and una feel free for share this audio out at the wave of me confidentiality clause on them. Because this is ridiculous. Any other country, that bank governor should be sacked before the end of today. That public notice where he pulled so. Any other country, he should be sacked before the end of today. I stop here.
My people there, when I don't hear Sylvia Blyden don't talk. We don't hear Sylvia Blyden your own side. They don't put and they say number one, then they go to the legal aspect of it. Say the bank governor not even get right, they never go through parliament. And anything what would they do for change, anything where they deal with the constitution, where give the people and the people and voice now the constitution, where they don't write away a law, they get for go through law. And the man don't say, he say until he say they get for pull up. I think that they notice that they if Mr. Shillon they see that or Mr. Kutubu
Yes.
Yes, and I can help for enlighten the people quick. I know say some people that they on the phone line, but yeah, Mr. Shillon, you know, then they just quick one, and then in the public currency act of Sierra Leone, currency of Sierra Leone, and this and that and all that stuff. They up on the screen. Mr. Shillon, quick one.
All right.
Let me go quick
Well,
to you.
very quickly,
Yes.
waiting Miss Blyden the say, I think it's an omission because I don't think the bank governor go be that reckless or uninformed or inane, which means silliness or stupidity, not to realize that for the new currency forget any value at all when you strike. And this is not my own basic understanding as a layman. When you strike the three zeros from the existing worth of the leons, the bank governor must have either overlooked or omitted mentioning that you will be bound to call the new denomination some other name, like the new Leone. So instead of we use LE, it will be NLE. The reason why make it make sense. So when something will sell for 1,000 Leone, you're gonna shop. That thing they can still then go give you two prices. Then we'll say now 1,000 Leone. But you also can pay. Yeah, you can pay 1,000, or you can pay 10 NLE. So you're not going to be or you can pay 10 new Leone. So for just show the comparison, say you can either pay that or you can pay because this no exists again. So now 1,000 Leone, but now 10. So we're not going to call on LE anymore, then therefore call on new NLE. So what
put something before they.
Yeah, for sure. Say this new money, the same like the old one, because for the other person where you gonna shop, or like the woman where they sell in Pamine for 1,000 Leone, for example, for bottle. Anyone understand now? If I take this 10 Leone, how not the lost money? So now we get for say, well, that 10 Leone equivalent to this new money, then it go understand that in there.
Yeah.
So me just feel the bank governor. Or either I forget to mention that, for say the new money will get to what they call, but if not,
but I think said and already yet. I will get on that.
Well, what if it's blinded up point out so now? Yeah, but what if it's blinded up point out so now for the governor? I hope he will catch that, he will understand that, and they're going to say that's a necessary thing when for put in the process. Now, the other thing about going through Parliament. And this so-called Section 26 of the Bank of Sierra Leone Act, you see, when you begin for site law, you get for sure how the person is in violation of that. So you can't say, because what you make out from Ms. Blyden, she's saying the governor not get the power, or the Bank of Sierra Leone not get the power for do what they try to do. Again, I get a doubt. Will the governor and the bank be that ignorant to the point that they don't know the limitation of their power? They don't know when they have to go through Parliament. So I still have my doubt that they're in violation of anything, or they're trying to do which they're not authorized by law. Because so far, what you read, me not see anything will prohibit the governor from, or requiring the governor from going to Parliament.
I think this conversation is a group where they get where a bunch of lawyers then did it. I think if they talk on to the lawyers, say, I think they get an argument inside in conversation. That's why she made that say, which lawyer they will go say the governor get rights for just go print money without going through Parliament. Now, then I think.
Well, but it all depends. The governor could write. See, it all depends, because any lawyer can say that if Parliament not restrict him, if there is no law specifically prohibiting him from doing that, and if by implication or expressly he has the power, he can exercise such power. So my thing will have been, show us the law, show us the section that specifically prohibits the governor, that he cannot do what he's trying to do. You say, I have not seen that. I mean, only thing that one day. So I would love that. This is not the good part about, they say reasonable people can differ. So if the governor is wrong, he's wrong. If he's right, he's right. But so far, may not see any evidence yet saying the governor cannot do that. I mean, the economic argument is different, but not on the legal side, they have to come forward with a section where prohibit the governor, or will not give the governor such power, whether they overstep. So the Constitution not got nothing to do with that. If he is statutorily empowered to do that, he can do that.
Okay, Mr. Kutubu, I know, say, Professor, you get something quick. What you want to say?
Yeah. Yes, but very quickly, me on This again, are the danger. This again, we are now go me the viewers, I mean the followers, when I go get for the excuse me because I go get for go back to history. When actually the bank be the run as the bank, we been get what you call advisors. One such advisor will be known now. One man when they call Mr. Ramanujam, we come up from the World Bank. You know the experts in there when they call it advisors to the governors in the bank. Most of the things the way they do, because I remember when Mr. Ramanujam did it, most things that way they do, then they go to them because these people are consulted, that people experts in where actually they are monetized. Unfortunately, the governor will get now we they now in order to a monetary suicide actually today. So all of this, so now that make you get any kind of people they did because they go one day and they meet you there. But now as I look at the background, the governor and the chairman for the board of directors, the way looks so meaning that he accountable to himself. But when we had it very structured by then, you take them from the advisor, they cannot to the governor and all the other things. That's so the thing they but so the hope is that this thing parliament will jump inside the let them make sure say they know in such a way that at least the citizens and then will see the worth of the of the money. Let not just be number one, the decision number with the governor he alone take. His intentions might be good, but me I look at the far-reaching ramification because like again I say in the absence of an expert and also say again you cannot look the list of them the board of directors and the bank of SALONE. I don't look at they don't get any experts within it. But they made me on history go back for tell me say yeah when them in the run and properly you have people who came experts. One such expert to I recall now Mr. Ramanujam. So now that way they so me go hold up me the judgment on this. Let's see how they proceed. Back to you guys.
Thank you so much. We'll get caller there on the line. We'll take some caller quick, then we'll come to Mr. Cabo. Caller, good evening. What's your name and who's they come from? Hello, caller, good evening. What's your name and who's they come from, please?
Mr. Mike, I call from Philadelphia.
Okay, we're not hearing you too well, sir. Can you a little bit speak up?
Yeah, this is Mike, I call from Philadelphia.
Okay, Mike, good afternoon, my brother. Go ahead, please. What do you get for add to the conversation?
I just want to say, the bank governor say the reason why he want to print new money is because we print new money, where the money come, people that they take and go hide in a house. Now, who doesn't go hide the money in a house? I don't need to find out because they just go take money in a bank without leave a statement. They say you take this amount of money, come on at the bank. Who doesn't go take the money, come on at the bank? And this is the same bank governor who we don't order money from last year, and that money they take in okay. So when they talk say they can't print new money because we know about machinery. I still fix machines here in America. When you say they can't order new money, before you order new money, the people where they order the money to, then get for print a die. When that die then get for print the money where they make so. So when you say inside 90 days, then it's not possible. It's not possible at all. Somebody they tell a lie somewhere because for you for order anything, they get for go make the die first because now brand new money they make. They get for go make that die. They get for work with the machine where they get for print the money with. And the other thing is, how much money this bank governor plan for spend for buy this new money? Because now they go buy this new money. How much dollar he plan for spend for go buy this money? Why you not go use this dollar money where they spend? Where you have to spend to do other things in the country? Now that let me not understand because the idea is a good idea, but the timing is wrong. The timing is completely wrong.
Okay.
Hello?
Okay. Yeah, we they listen you, they live.
Yeah, the timing is wrong because everything they go up. The economy in the country is bad. Why? You say they go print money for can make a psychological impact. But why do the psychological impact right now? Why not the new money now for create the impact? You understand it? Why not the new money now for create the impact? Why you not able to create the impact right now? Why? Some people like to educate themselves inside the classroom, but they're not able to translate that to the outside world. If you're not able to do the job, quit, Mr. Governor, quit the job. Okay, I'm not going to waste people in time in that country. When they destroy the whole economy, the plan B and forgot change the currency. Well, make no sense. What the currency whether in the country, we not they use at any other place. Now inside salon they use that. Who say the money go? Who say it go? Who say the money go? They can only use it at Guinea border or Liberia border. Who say the money go? Who say the money go where they print? People are for waste people in time, man. Let them fix the economy. People can get light problem in the country. They can't talk about currency change. Everyone, I don't get one idea what to go on. They just their brain. Sometimes their brain not work properly. I mean, contribution and it.
Thank you so much. Thank you very much. Let's go to another caller. Good evening, caller. What's your name and who's you call from, please?
Yeah, hello.
Hello, caller. Good evening. What's your name, please, and who's you call from?
Mina Abdul Kanu. I call from Australia.
Yes, good morning from the down under.
Good morning. How are you?
Voice.
So, me on take on this thing. Very good idea for local currency gets a very small note as it is today. But when you look at before 20 or 25 years back, we've been getting small notes there. In fact, up to 100 leons, 9 at the highest value. What is the problem now? What this note here come to thousands now. Now we get 5,000 on to 10,000. There must be problems that leads to that. Now money don't devalue, very small. $100 it gets big money when 1 million leons before it nobody happen. But what leads to this? If the bank governor don't able to understand from that point of view, then it will able to bring back the notes to 100 leons instead of 10,000. But if you're not able to point out from there, you're not able to solve that problem there is no need. And before it did do that, what is the country able to produce to the international markets? What these leons get for attract them? More forget about minerals them. Minerals them, yes, we get them, but not only the only thing where they attract the international world. We get some businessmen that would buy building materials, rares, cloth, all them things. If we're not able to give, we're not able to produce very big units to the international world, who they attract them for can do this foreign exchange, you not get for work. It will be very good, but I'm afraid what will be the next step. So, what's in the own preparation? The preparation of the country, or let me say the governor, how best is this country able to produce to the international world? You see, at the end of the day, then get for use foreign exchange. Foreign currency, dollar, you get for come. That foreigner get for come buy from your own country. If you're able to attract a lot of business people for come buy from your own country, then your money could value. But if now you know more they go buy at any time, now you do import, you know they able to export. The value of your currency is nothing. Even if they put and down to that level, then cut out that 3 zeros. Yes, internally people can go manage for able to understand from 10,000 to 10 leons. When it comes to the foreign exchange, it will be a big problem because we have nothing to produce for the world. People don't get for can buy from we. So now that me won't take. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, my brother. Good morning again from down under. Another caller. Let's take another caller because I bet for bringing Mr. Kago in because I want to understand from an expert, a person we know that. But then we take the caller then first because this is not the voice of Salone. But we get for understand this. If you take all the rest of the show, we go come back with the other one then tomorrow. But we get for understand another day. We go get for understand this because the people then for really understand waiting now we don't benefit by this. Waiting the economy. Will this be good for the economy? How we go good for the economy? Waiting now we advise to the governor how for go before with this because we want for CCA it work. We want for fix the economy. And like how Bokutem, the people them way be done born them 10 and they will know them 10 and they say we downfall of the economy begin with the OAU. When we go put we and USA will not get That was the beginning of a downfall by the economy. Because like how Professor Kutubi Mitokwa was say we get shillings and pence first. When they begin make the shillings of the leons and the thing, there was once upon a time the leons was greater than the dollar. But now it is $100 they give we million, 1 point something million leons for $100. Waiting happen. The bad mismanagement of the government, the economic, the one that wouldn't put say that they for run the country, the fiscal indiscipline, where people they spend how they want. Even though the law can say, just like for example, not of us say we pick on President Bio, but this thing as when it go on per diem, now legal way for get money, the law allow, but you get for use common sense for prevailing some things where they do say, not to every side they go out for me with, because the law allow you for you with. If we want for nip down, because I not say for sure, the World Organization, the World Bank don't tell we say, if we continue for spending all the countries will go back for trouble. Like how they be get austerity and waiting and go away, they be tell an Eskoroma for the former administration, it look like say we they spend too much. They say we get one pot now, so we put all the money, but we spend. Let we take one more caller, then we go to Mr. Kago. Let we take one more caller, then we go to Mr. Kago. Caller, good evening. What's your name and who shall you call me from, please?
Hello?
Yes,
Hello?
good evening, sir. Good. Yes, caller, go ahead,
Yes,
please.
my name is Peter Tamara, and I call from US, Minnesota.
Yes, sir. Go ahead, Mr. Tamara. What do you
First,
get for?
yes, I want to say, when I thank you for bringing this hot topic, because it's really now only a good mindset of we will become with this content. But one thing is this, I want to take two approach here. First, the comment by Sylvia Blyden, and then the actions by the governor itself. Well, just for me, note and correction, yes, for correction there on this issue, the facts say, indeed, we been get loans, and we get the official currency, the official currency we known worldwide is SLE, which is Sierra Leone leons. And you get the leons where the time where it will be 1 leon, 2 leon, 3 leons, it was known as leon, LE. So that the difference down there, I just want to make sure the letter difference is clear. We will get the leon and we get the SLE. That's now one aspect. So now if we go back to the leon, when at the LE, not to SLE anymore, so that's going to be the difference here between the two currencies. However, because chronologically, or because Sierra Leone itself, we don't use for the currency as leons, not knowing that it was originally called SLE rather than the leons currently as it is. And two, it's like I want back just for on that same audio, the fact say indeed we've been get leon, 1 leon, 2 leon, 3 leon, 4 leons, and they all have been get the 3 zeros. And now then they add them all the time, and they add the double zeros, 1 zero after the other, until we all reach about almost 6 of the zeros then what we don't able get. Or sorry, 3 of the zeros then be added. Then they not be changed the money, they not change the prefix where they add. And now you want to reduce and down, and you say, oh no, then there is a need for change the prefix. But because they don't know the true difference between these two, when the leons not been get the 3 zeros then, indeed they've been there as a leons, just LE. And by the time it goes to that, then the official currency denomination will be get the official way, let me call them now SLE. Now in known worldwide SLE. So now it's like I agree with them at some point in time that indeed in terms of transaction aspect, because it's like the whole of Sierra Leone don't use as LE instead of the SLE. So I think then differences they agree with them totally. Say indeed they need for go back to the law and make sure say we get able to get them legal, cleanly for in case of any legal aspect on them. But for say the bank governor not get the authority to do what he does, indeed he get let's put politics aside. He has the authority because not only the central bank get the authority for send money in and pull money out of the country, produce new money and also bring new money. Not only the bank governor and all along new money they kind side, they all they come concurrently, which means the old one and the new one, they all they work out concurrently. Take the time of that old one, then we do one. Not only don't they happen and
I'm sorry, my brother, your time, yeah. We give you 3 minutes, then punch up the 3 minutes we can put Bunyade and the computer don't kick you off. So thank you, me people, the one that they listen. I want to bring Mr. Kagbo in this talk because this talk here, I refuse adamantly no say I for bring Mr. Kagbo in because I want to explain because it don't use for explain and break down for let people understand. Because like I say, currently at present, in Canada, in one of the founder of this VOS, and Mr. Kagbo, na economist, they work for the federal government, the Canadian government. They're not to federal, their own central government. Now that they do na economics and they plan the country money out and the way they call. Mr. Kagbo, sir, make I bring you in on the phone with we. Let you can answer some question for we. You don't hear what two people they don't say. You don't hear what the governor say. You don't hear what we sisters Sylvia Blyden say. But me get question for you. I want to let people they understand because this is not the voice of Salone. And everything when a salon business, we want for make we understand because down there where we get informed decision, when we are informed, we can make able for make good decision. We can able for understand what's in the big one the way they before we talk. So you don't hear what the government say and the bank governor so it talk of 3 major things them where it talk the psychological bust, it talk of the hoarding of the Leones where they keep money in a house where people they don't keep the money that they disappear. Then it also talk about the fiscal discipline for the government. Let we begin first with what all this mean. Tell with people they are do first and just say small thing, but you say I'm not say I don't tell about you, but just remember some people they will not know you, new people in the John way every day. Let them know who that's now you quick and what you they do before we begin this conversation. Mr. Kagbo to you, sir.
Yes, thank you so much, Madam Fadima. My goodness, you really succeed for drag me into this.
Yeah.
So I just want for remind people again, Mina Abdul Karim Kagbo, the founder of VOS, and I will do some economic analysis. And because of I know one lady, it look crowded na the screen, so I just decide say maybe I just to throw me 2 cents. I don't work for actually Canada get a federal government as well. So I don't work for the Canadian federal government, yes, for over 14 years. So different capacity. I don't work as senior economist for the federal government, and now my current position, again, this is not to say I did try for brag, but I call them senior specialist risk and reporting evaluation. So they basically evaluate risks within banks and then advise with a team, advise usai risk there and waiting we can able to do for mitigate for reduce some of the risks then.
Yeah, it's okay. Mitigate me reduce.
Yeah, well, I want to let people know. Yeah, I know I use big word. Yeah, I want for be as yes, simple as I can. So I sort of don't over that 14 years they don't occupy several roles them. So this one again, I'm a pleasure because Mina Sierra Leonean first, no matter what. I be Canadian citizen, but Mina Sierra Leonean first before being a Canadian. So this is something we also concern me as Sierra Leonean, and I just think saying a privilege for let una go call me and let be part of this.
Yes, sir. Okay, Mr. Kagbo, thank you, because you're not the right person for low bring come for low can talk on this because you experience alone and you look at risk, you try for cut down risk because anything where you do you want profits and anything where they bring loss we don't want for doing. So the risk of them thing, waiting at the good thing them for this thing where the government don't say, look, we begin first with the psychological boss, because he talk and say we neighbor then Ghana don't do it then succeed. But we know say back other African country then try it fail. So the psychological boss, waiting at the good side in Panam and waiting at the risky side in Panam, where they do so to we, it can go either way. It can work, it not can work. So waiting at your experience and waiting you see, understand and see, follow with people they understand, let them self go there to them say, okay, let them self go able to make sound decision them, let them know say they understand what they talk. So go ahead, sir. We'll go first with the psychological boss, the psychological effect where it go get for we the people, where we go see small money and big money together, the new one and the old one. Let we go, sir.
Absolutely. And wow, you put me on the hot seat. But just quickly, though, I want for sort of throw small light on waiting Sylvia Blyden say, if you don't mind, ma. Because
Okay.
since now you're not the boss now. So I just want to let people fully understand. Sylvia Blyden make great points them. The first one where it talk about that section of the Bank Act. Again, that we brother we call itself equally right. But the thing where probably take to consideration is this act now as of 2019. And this go through Parliament. We then say act now where Parliament don't sort of make law, not to the Constitution. Now Parliament make law. This particular law, so they make them call them act. So you go through all the process. So the side where Sylvia Blyden mostly concerned about is the subsection 3, where it says the Leone shall be issued in banknotes and coins and prefixed by the sign LE. So the act shows say if for be LE. So that means for like a go against the LE part, we get amendment to this act. Because if all two be LE, it definitely will create confusion. Where they all carry different denomination. So Ghana example, now very good example, then change the notation, the sign, as it say, now GHCD, like Ghana City. Previously now be city, but then change the new one to Ghana City. But one thing where probably is say, where I'm not going to go too deep into it, the law and whatnot, another section give the bank governor the right for make note. Like for make note, like so that's section 27 of the Bank Act of 2019. It make it clear, I go read subsection 2. The bank shall arrange for the printing of notes, the minting of coins, and for all other related matter, including the security and safekeeping of unissued banknotes or coins, and the custody and destruction, as may be necessary of unfit and retired banknotes or coin, But this, again, I go left to the lawyers them for the interpretation. The side where me think say will probably need for clarify is the sign. Because again, if they left them to the same sign, it will create confusion. So now just that clarification, they say, yes, the bank governor gets the authority for do this. But for we go use this different sign, I believe it get for go through Parliament, then get for amend this section of the Act. So I don't know if I for take a breather here.
That's why I say Mr. Cabo for kind inside this talk, because this is pass over me aid. I not be in London, then at school, I not sabi. That's thank you for that, sir. But let me go now to what in the governor say, the bank governor. This bank governor, and they in charge of distribution of money, how for control for let we economy go before. And he say one of the way want do with this new money, the psychological boss way go make people then go think say the money get more value where it's small or whatever, or they go get confidence for spend the money. So then it also make the reference say they wonder we don't keep the money, then go bring and come back. So now go first with the psychological thing where go get per we. What in that they mean in economics language for we the people we not understand what in our economics. What in that they go do for we, what in that they mean for we the people of Sierra Leone.
Absolutely. And I would just quickly answer that question there. Absolutely correct, 100%. Then column money illusion per economics. Where you get the illusion, say, you know what? Now the money don't value. Let's say, for example, we say 10,000 leons now, not 10 leon. And $1 roughly not 10,000. So instead of you say $1 now 10,000 leons, now you say $1 now 10 leons. So that mindset where the column flat it, in terms of the value itself, it not change. Now just reducing the zeros. So that by itself gets psychological impact where people then go think say the money don't value. So 100% correct in terms of the psychological impact. Yes, it go get them because of what we call money illusion.
Okay. So if me don't get this money illusion now, but yet this money illusion, the money not value that way they, but inside my mind I think say value. You know, and I was still able, are you saying, and I was still able for buy what you have been not used for buy with the 10,000 or I don't understand how the money illusion they work. Because
yes,
is it gonna have the same value? You say not gonna get the same value, but what
no, the value needed change. The value needed change. So the same value where 10,000 leons get, now that same value the 10 leons go get. So now you mind no more. Yes, another change.
So but we mind we go think say they change, but the value not they change. Okay,
exactly. That make them call it psychology.
Psychological, yes, that's the psychological fake way that they fake
Impact,
inside our
yes.
mind. We they believe things them. That's like the pseudo waiting and call where they can get the drug them, where they can get them placebo drugs for people them for things that they give you medication for let you go well, but really na fake medication, na sugar pill that they give you for let your mind healing safe. That is placebo. Okay, so now it say people they don't keep the money. Who side the money go? You don't bring money, they can the money they disappear. So they want they will get the money, they go pull them. They force people they will get the money. So forcing the people they will get the money. What in that they go do to the economy? What it go do for the businessman them or the people that don't keep the money? What in that they go do for the local? Because like we can say investor, right? We got the businessman them. Now the local businessman they say like investor because then they invest in the economy of Sierra Leone, right? So what's in this money go do now? They want to keep the money. What do you feel say then go do? What's in the risk for force them for pull the money? What's in the risk to the economy in that side? Or what's in the good side for the economy in that side for force them out for bring them money them when they don't hide under bed or under the mattress or inside the suitcase or don't dig gold put.
That's a great question, Madam Fadima. Before I answer that question, I just want for all of you to fully understand the main reasons, given the historical nature of this exercise, because this exercise is not a new exercise in the world. Since, in fact, after World War II, you see several countries then we don't do that. But recently, though, the main reasons, I will put three main reasons why why government or banks them, central banks them can do this. The first major reason, now what's called hyperinflation, where inflation don't run away and they go up so much. And I will give you example. Zimbabwe, at one point, the inflation be over 1,000,000%. That's really high. And let us show people them
So, but
Ghana.
before you go down there, sir, tell the people that waiting on inflation first, because some people
Yes,
don't know
yes, I
waiting on
go. Yes, definitely. Now
Okay.
that I want
Okay.
for Kanto now.
Okay.
Say,
Yes, sir.
waiting I mean by inflation is then get a basket of goods them where then they use as waiting and call benchmark and say, you know what, then goods here they trade very regularly. So as a result, for let we able to understand how the government will able to understand the economy in good one or bad one, or how things then they go. So it will help the central government, where in this case the bank governor, for regulate the interest rate and plenty other things them where probably salon economy now advancing now for use. Yeah, we get what we call quantitative easing as well, where all that now monetary policies them where this inflation can help with. Canada and America, now two major things them the central bank they look at for like they see whose direction then go with interest rate, for example, is the inflation where the rate at which prices then they increase but then baskets then they in general. So now that's not inflation. Let's say, for example, if the whole basket, the generally it costs 1 million this month, we're now August, then August of last year, if it costs, let's say, now be 80 cent. So when you look now, then you go look at the difference. So the $1 from 80 cents, that way you make, I mean, a percentage form, that's not the inflation. So
Okay,
how did
so
it
so
change
so
year
you they
over year?
say let me bring on to rest price of rest. Last year
Yes,
they buy one bag rest 200,000. Let us say 200,000. Now then they buy 300,000 or 350,000 for a
yes.
couple of years now. The rest price they go up every, so then are inflation, because the people them their money not they increase, but yet price they go up. And things they where they
Well,
waiting,
for
but the
now,
earning power no.
yeah, for now, the inflation will get nothing for do with what you go mean as the purchasing power.
Okay,
Or
okay,
waiting, yeah, waiting it just a measure is how price they change from 1 year to the other. Now, not the inflation. So
okay,
the
okay.
impact, the effect of inflation now is because the price don't change, you income for go up, for let you money go do for buy the same thing when you be they buy last year. The same amount of things that we be they buy last year. Let's say that example where you give. Because of from 300, maybe 300 to now 350, in terms of that example there. So where you calculate waiting at the difference there is about 17% or so. So you income for like you will get the same money where you be the work. You will buy the same one bag rest, you income for increase by the same amount. And that
70%.
means, yes, that means the power for let you able buy that rest day and for increase back. So if you don't increase, then your purchasing power will reduce.
Hold on.
Okay.
So now the impact of inflation. So not only
Okay, so
inflation itself, but the inflation are just
the
simply
impact, just the
yes,
percentage, but then the
yes, the
impact of
difference.
of
Yes,
the percentage, how will they deal with the people in their life on the ground, the daily people, the everyday man,
yes,
how it they affect them. Now then now the purchasing power and all that stuff. Thank you.
exactly.
That's why I say, Mr. Kabo for can talk this talk today. Okay, let we go. Let we continue for go. Like I will say, explain to we about the holding the money now where they keep now house. Where say they don't hold the money, who side the money then go, and don't know who side the money then go. So then they go force the people then for pull the money. What do you think about that statement there? Is it good? Is it why? What are the risk them for that statement there? What are the good side them for that statement there?
Okay. I did try enough for dodge that question there, but not to say now
I
dodge at
normally
the
do.
dodge. No, I not go
Yes.
dodge, not to dodge at the dodge. But I just want where people and they watch what we call indicators them, let them know exactly if a warrant for like the Bank of SALONE governor do this. So I don't say the first reason, major reason where then countries then they do this, now where then get high inflation. And Ghana do that because the inflation be high. And Venezuela do them, Russia do them, and Afghanistan do them, plenty other countries them. Mostly now because of the inflation very high. So the second reason is where probably the inflation will get small influence in this is devaluation. If your country money in value they go down big time, where it can be as a result of several other things, them you can able to do that. And the third major reason now where then get regional money where you want for let it be near to the same denomination with their regional money. Like now Europe, the euro, you get some countries them where do this, where then call redenomination for let them go able comfortably use the euro, where not go bring too much confusion. So you look at that, SALONE for now, the echo currency, the one way we try for bring about the African area, the West African region, then they on hold for now. So we cross that. Not to and the devaluation, well, the bank governors say the economy they strengthen and stuff like that. So meaning we not for worry too much about that, you not commot it out of hands. So that will mean back say, well, waiting at the need for do this. And then the other one, when at the major one, the number one reason where people in country they can do harm is hyperinflation. And with inflation, I go give kudos to the bank governor. They don't do a fantastic job. Again, if you can permit me, I just want to show a graph quickly where they show whose side the inflation be day, where the bank governor, how far it don't come. So this is, again, now the inflation as of June 2021, now about 10%. So you they see the line there, the inflation now they go down big time. So if we look, some people then go say, okay, what about the term them where the previous administration be in a power? So now they show this one. So if you look, really, the term where them be take power, where President Bio be take power, and who side the inflation they now, a way lower. So meaning that we don't get that kind of pressure given usai we day for with inflation for warrant this kind of action from the bank governor. So let me come now to you. I don't know if you want for a pause there, and if we not get question for clarify.
Yeah, because I want for ask the question. First of all, usai we get credit because I look on my screen here. Usai we get credit from this map here. Usai this map come out because like how you say, if we inflation not bad, like how they say it bad, like how we feel say it bad, because we they say Leone's don't go down, the dollar rate now such and such and such and such. Things are hard. If we money no value, how we inflation they go down? Because the 10 them first term, the money where President Bio take, where been take I think that'll be 800,000 for 1 Leone. Now 1 million or whatever, 800,000. Now 1 million. So I don't understand this chart here. That's why I say who side the credit come out on this chart here. Because if we don't need them, why we get for go do currency if we inflation not that bad? Because you say the chart I see, we've been there high up there in 2020, the beginning. Then now we don't come all the way down a little bit, you know, to the thing. So my question now is who side this map come out and who then do this assessment? Because if the things on the ground are saying one thing, but the map is saying something else, do we really need it? If we don't need them, if this map they correctly say, because we they pray it's correct. Because if it correct, yes, we need them. We don't need them. But if it's not correct, we need them because the things on the ground, like say the cost of inflation, is reflecting on the people. We see a BBC thing where people and they say, who side them they buy 1 dozen corporates, now 6 corporates or 8 corporates they buy because they're not able to buy the 1 dozen again. So the influence of the inflation, the result of the inflation, they reflect on the lives of the people, the livelihood of the people. So I don't understand that side. They help me by, because we only try for be optimistic here, but we want for understand so that then go able for make good decision. So what's in at this thing here? So explain to us also this
That's
map come out.
that's not a great question, Madam Fadima. But again, waiting at trying for do for make people able understand is, and I want question the numbers them. This
Okay.
now the numbers them where statistics Sierra Leone pull out. So I
Okay.
they take the numbers them by face value. Say yes, now
Okay.
the number they give we, and I will question them. But in terms
Okay.
of when you look, the amount where we they import is still more than the amount where we they export. So as a result of that, we get what we call balance of trade deficit. So because we they import a lot more than what we they export, we always stay in terms of negative in where you look at that balance of trade day. So I will quickly show them. So una see na ya, the blue dots them are small una see, and that's now sometime in 2019. But throughout, since even an Eskoroma in time, because let me be fair na ya, even where the economy during an Eskoroma be they grow, it don't grow the fastest. But yet, the balance of trade not be favorable at all. Where we would expect for like probably we do boku things them we go inspire economic growth. But again, that's that we left for another day. But this for just tell you, you see 2020, it dropped big time. And that is because of the COVID. But even before the COVID, we be done in deficit constantly. So with this, you don't expect the value of the leones for go up at all because we they import a lot more than we they export and we get deficit in that regard. So for like we go able for change this, we get what in the bank governor call increased productivity. We produce more things them and try for export than things than they. And that just again, I don't want for take too much time here. I want for the answer you questions them, but I for let people them fully understand what we they talk now. Yeah. So let we take Ghana for example, and let we look at the recent trade balance of Ghana. So you see Boku Blue yonder, no so. So
Ghana never
meaning that
blue.
exactly. So where people and they say, oh, Ghana be done do and now look at the currency is stronger. Not so because of the redenomination make the currency stronger. So you see this is favorable to them. So Ghana they export more than they import, and as a result of that, you see the blue line really boku na Ghana. When you look at Ghana in aspect. Now, let come to your question. I hope say people are able to get
Yeah,
this
they go
inflation.
understand because that just help you quick. Me people now be see the charts there with them put. The blue per salon, it is small kenkeni. That's something that they iron or that iron or where they be care go then there's they half go the dam or they come on a ground. And we know say the world markets they go by where they ready today, they say the diamond fine, where they do not see the kenkeni blue. Now in the up na salon. You see salon on. But then when you look Ghana on, we brown them, they done. You see when it brown there, we not get nothing better. Oh, they export, don't they bring come. We don't they buy from people, them, no, they know they buy from we not get nothing for sale. We not get nothing for but look Ghana. Ghana, they up. You see them blue, they with them boku. That means that they can't go, then they can't go, then they can't go. We not any dots. 9 per week. So now that name Mr. Kagbo they say he work na Ghana because what he do Ghana get in the way and they sell to the world. But we hear Mr. Kagbo, we hear he say the bank governor, they be optimistic here. He said he don't cut down on the fiscal spending, the free spending where all mommy don't they spend any kind way where they want. Now so he said then also they don't begin make farm them. That farm they give we when they become optimistic, say that farm they go yield for low go begin sell to other people and then they can buy to we. But is that enough? And what you feel say, but then they explain to me more. Let people they understand. I just want to explain that blue to them. Let them know say that blue they now waiting Ghana they pull come on a Ghana. Waiting people they buy from Ghana. We not think any dots. You know they see yourself plus you go for use your glasses for let's see a well one. But then he say again better pass nothing, but we get for do much better. Let we go, sir. Mr. Kago, go ahead. Continue.
Madam Farima, you are make us scared for me job. Oh. It look like say you're on the verge of taking the job. And it's scared. And you understand them very well. So now, you know, me no one for put politics. Now I make a can like for show them graph here the numbers them as salon people as salon institutions that they report them. Here is another one where go clearly show if we're in a better shape. This now the government in debt versus the overall economy where we call GDP. And within our GDP, now the goods and service system where they make na SALONE and evaluate them in a dollar form, now in our GDP. So this the debt where the government don't they take. And that make IMF and other institutions then concerned. So if we continue this, look from 2012, for example, from 36, okay, well, the lowest time, the period where they show so, you will see that now 30.6% of GDP. But now look at the debt level. If I can round down, now about 72%. Of the thing the way the country they produce, all they go per debt. So meaning that out of any dollar where SALONE they get in terms of economic activities, 72 cents. Yes, 72 cents of that $1 they go per debt. So you see, and this now, I don't know how the bank governor go able show people that we know about economics this kind number, and then say, you know what, the fiscal spending they at a reasonable level, because this debt.
Because we don't see this chart here, and the source for this chart here, so now the tradingeconomic.com international monetary fund, the IMF chart. Not what we make up now waiting the IMF say. So for every $1 where we get, we they give $72 to people them. Then we now 18 cents no more, 72 cents. I mean, then the 18 cents now they can say we pocket. Because that debt, all that, then a debt we they pay, but with money what they get. Because all we understand. Let we understand, let we get this right, let we know who that they would put in power, when they know they do right. Not to talk, we want talk. We want SALONE for go before. That's why we want for explain them here. Not what we say, now the charts where them pull, now in say, because this governor don't tell we say, they don't cut down on the spending, the expenses where this government they do. But yet, we see the charts up there, where we did it earlier, where they talk on waiting and waiting, waiting and waiting, they happen. Now the reality on the ground, this, would they get this, now this would they get. They don't analyze everything. Then they send people, then they watch, then they see, then they talk. So now we keep going with waiting this man say. So now, Mr. Kago again.
Okay, I just want quickly, Madam Fadima, I just want quickly clarify something here. Okay, let me take credit card, for example. You limit, let's say the limit now your GDP, okay? So if you sort of go beyond, you limit, they can still allow you for use some people, some institutions them. But waiting it means say you're in a dangerous territory. So again, your credit card, the amount where you owe, not to all you they pay every month. No, so you get limited. Exactly. So now that's the government. They rely on waiting then call debt servicing. So the debt servicing for now, then feel say yes, it's still manageable. They're still able for service then debt here. But again, two things then can happen here where you get this kind level of debt, you rating can normally go down. It's just like credit card, for example.
Like credit bureau, yes.
Yes. So if you the max you credit card or you the near the max,
Yes.
waiting will
Yeah,
happen.
you credit score
The
the
credit
low.
score will go down.
And
Exactly.
you know high risk.
Exactly. So for let them trust you, if you go trust some side, you they pay higher interest rate.
High interest,
And
yes.
that's they give you more burden for carrying you debt because of the interest rate is so high. So now that clarification there I want to make. And now I don't know.
I'm glad the way you talk on that. They let the layman understand, especially who then and then country they are. When we get credit card, you max your credit card because we get to do like a credit class for then we come out of debt. Because I just bought a house. And my credit score is high up there because you get to pay off them debts then. And I was like 2021. I just bought a brand new house. And I say I have to get out of all this debt, all this credit card, and cut them, come out. I not want but one or two now I get now. Because you think when you have those cards, you can use them. But when you use them, you max them, you just pay the minimum every month, you will be in debt forever. And then when they want to give you interest, now high interest rate. But you know, I just bought my second home in America, and I learned that lesson there. So we get for teach people then one day, Mr. Kabo, let we try for pull with people then per debt. Let we not spend money we will not get. That's what it is. We spending money that we don't have, and it becomes a burden, and we continue not go grow. That's what we leader then they do. Then they make one somebody talk I say. Then they make one minimal losiba. Then get one thing where they play card or whatever. Minimal lossy or something, and we call them and this now. But that is what we're doing. That is what we the Sierra Leoneans themselves, when we there oversee, that is what we live on. Especially I can speak of America because we are in America. But in America, this is what a lot of us live by. We live in off credit cards, we live in off debt, and then at the same risk the governments they take, where they pay high interest rates, we country they go before. The half money where they get, they share them instead of use it widely or try for cut themselves out of debt. That is what Mugufuli did. They let Mugufuli, he cut off all that, say we go lent, let we use what we get for bill we country, and then bill and Tanzania become a very beautiful country they like today. May soul rest in peace. Where even Lumumba they say we for muglify Africa, the way we for do things. Let we come up behind bigger and let we able produce what we get for build we economy. So thank you so much, Mr. Kabo. But let you done your thoughts now on this this money now. This I debate under money under all who side and keep our inside box, who side and keep our when they bring at the bank. What in that they go do so we people them we economy again. Let we ask that question there.
All right. Before I answer that question, then maybe let we give Mr. Shilon and Professor chance if they want to fire me on other the issues what I don't cover so far. Because during me closing, I go talk about the things the way he say, the impact, and part of it go be what it go mean for what me go call fear tactics. Then they create panic. But I go talk about some of the implications of that kind approach there.
Well, me people then this is why I tell you say Mr. Kagbo is the man who I get for reach out to for this talk, because me want understand them. I want to myself understand them. I want every Sierra Leonean for understand them, because this now we livelihood, this now we country, this now we future, and we put leader them where they do waiting them for do for let the country go before. So Professor, and to you, Mr. Shilon, una shoot at Mr. Kagbo. I pass the floor to Una. I pass the mic to Una. I yield back to Una, as they say in the court. I yield to the the gentleman at the panel. I yield to Una, sir.
Professor, go ahead.
Well, actually,
go ahead.
To be honest with you, I don't get any questions, sir.
Okay.
To be honest.
All right.
Do you understand now?
Well, I follow what you've been saying,
Mr. Kagbo,
and I appreciate
Mr.
that very
Kagbo,
much.
Yes, yes, sir.
I get one or two questions. First of all,
Absolutely.
Madam Fadima asks, of course, you say you know the question, the origin of the document itself, because she asked a very pregnant question. That was, who prepared the chart where indicates, say, in 2018, when BO kind of power, we were at 18% inflation, but now it has dropped down to 10%. And I think I remember you saying, one, you know the question, but I think it was done by the home government. Is that correct? Not your international organization.
Well, in terms of the graph, the people we put at tradingeconomics.com, but the statistics it come off from the data, it come off from Statistics Sierra Leone. So they just graph waiting they receive from Statistics Sierra Leone.
Okay.
So now that's why they are saying the question for doubt waiting Statistics Sierra Leone put out.
Okay. But, then Ms. Fadima follow the question by saying, after you hear the answer, say, she doubts the accuracy of this chart only because the purchasing power of the Leone has gone down since the BO government kind of power, based upon what people out there to say. Then they give the example of people who say they used for get 12 corporates for feed of their family. Now they only can buy 9 with the same amount of money because the value of the Leone has gone down with respect to the rise in prices. So I just want to get an understanding on that. The other question when I get for you pertain to the issue that I raised that has not been part of this discussion. So I just want to see if you get an opinion. In view of, I don't know what you will call a quantity of the actual volume of the money. Professor Calon talked about the size of the currencies then. But I'm talking about, okay, my question is, do you agree with me, or you may disagree that if for no other reason, taking off 3 zeros makes sense, in the sense like I give the example, if you go to Sierra Leone now for do a $10,000 transaction, without any exaggeration, you need to take a pillowcase for put the money inside. I'm not exaggerating at all. So, but if these zeros are cut down, the same $10,000 transaction using Sierra Leone currency, whatever they may call it, you may not need a pillowcase. You may just need your regular pocket for both the same value of money for go participate in that transaction. So for that reason alone, don't you think that in and of itself will justify taking off the zeros? Because 1,000, if you go for a $1,000 deal now, a 1,000 now 10 million leones, plenty of money, actual cash. There is no way you are going to be able, in Freetown today or in Sierra Leone today, you cannot put 10 million leones in your pockets. I don't care how many pockets you get. I mean, physically. So my question is, just that alone, isn't that justifiable reason to even take off the zeros then, so we can get the thing in a manageable way for operate, in addition to the value when it go down. So I just want to forget, or my question no relevant, but my question really is, if for no other reason, is it justifiable to take off the 3 zeros at the end of each denomination just to reduce the quantity of money that one has to move around in doing any transaction? That's my question, Andy.
Yes, now, so now two-part question. The first question is the money in devaluation. So plenty time in salon context, the main reason now because of the exchange rate. We they import a lot more than we they export. So meaning that we rely on foreign goods them for survive. Like rest when essential good, for example. Now imports to the import. So if the exchange rate higher, it translates into the local prices because then people where they bring the goods them, then therefore also get profit. So that's not now that area they mostly we price business they go up. But again, some people then go ask, say, what about the things that whether they produce in a salon? The price set high for them things like Gary, for example. Yes, because of that transportation cost. We're involved in that because they get for transport and by the transportation you get fuel. And fuel now through foreign money, we they buy fuel, bring can a salon. So most times the currency in devaluation, if like I be say about Ghana, if we they export more than what we they import, that difference they help we for get more foreign exchange and then they go strengthen with currency. So they get for really work on that and also we get a long way for go. So that's not the so you look and say that devaluation of we currency, it gets direct impact on inflation as salon because inflation are the change in prices and the rate at which we they import is more than the rate at which we they export. So that they feed into the price changes na salon. So now to the zeros. Again, I'm not there for criticize the bank governor. Let's quickly go through what he say. Talk about design. Say the design will be the same, so it will reduce the confusion. That's great. And it talk about transactional costs, and that self will be the case. But again, that enough for sufficient for let we go into this. And then the psychological aspect, I don't talk about and the productivity where it talks say this not going to make no difference, no material major difference in terms of the economy in strong one. This not going to make the economy weak or strong because get no direct impact where it comes to productivity, the thing that they produce in the country. Psychologically, if people then feel say they get more money, then they go influence the behavior. So if they begin, they think say, no, this money too plenty for let us spend for food, then go cut down. And when they cut down, then it can able help inflation. For curb inflation, for correct inflation. So then they rely on that. Then they, because now part of the psychological impact. But now the zeros where Mr. Shilon, you talk about if now you go change 10,000 or so. But now we take say the 10,000 leons right now. Now one note, correct?
Yeah.
And yes, now one note. And now you they replace them with one note when you call 10 leons. So how that one they help? Now the same one note. So here is what here is what Ghana do. Because of the dollar be done na Ghana be done almost be 10,000 CD, the old CD, they make a 1-for-1. So one new Ghana CD, it costs $1. So now 4 zeros them put. So in that regard, you go say you they take home less of the quantity. So the argument where the bank governor make in terms of the size, if now the size you want for address, you don't need for pull the zeros then. Canada don't do them. We get new money when at the same denomination, but they reduce the design of it. You can change the design of the current currencies. Them you can make them smaller. You can make new 10,000, but the size of it will be smaller. If that's not the argument, You don't need for pull the zeros them for let the size go down. So
But,
here is with yes, I go go ahead, sir.
no, but I just want to ask, say for example, now $100 American dollars is the equivalent now Australian money based upon the notes then the way they get it now. Now I keep giving an example. Now let's say 1.2 million Leone. And quantitatively, it's a lot of money in your hand. So when you do a $10,000 transaction, literally you have to put the money in pillowcase. 10,000 dollars, US dollars, the equivalent. Now you get the drift. So whatever, so it take forever to count the amount of money there. So I was simply saying like 1 million, Leo, now, if you take three zeros out, same value, it will count to what, 1,000? So my question simply was, so will it not be better to have the same value of money on a 1,000 note? Where then they talk about changing the zeros, or you are saying if it is left as it is, there is nothing wrong with that.
Now, waiting that they says, waiting they replace them with, as I say, if now this argument in terms of the carrying, like the cost for carrying, it don't make sense because now the same note, as I say, now paper, okay, you get one paper you call them 10,000. Another paper, you call them 10 leons. Not to the same one paper you get. So here is waiting it can do. Because it not say they transform the 1,000, the 5,000 into coins. So then they go mean less paper. It still say they go maintain that. Then go still get 1,000, 5,000. You see, so everything, it just they pull out the zeros. So meaning you still get one paper. So if, let's say, that 1 million where you they talk, okay, the amount of paper them where you go get for that 1 million. Now the same amount of paper them you go get if you look at the 10 leons. Now the same number of papers. So that side, the bulkiness, it not go change at all. Again, if now the size change, you can still do them with the current denomination. Reduce the size. You don't need to go through any, because now the design you just they change. So if then do like what Ghana do and say, okay, now they reduce 4 zeros. Then you don't reduce the number of papers them where you need for transactions. So you get the point where they make here, sir.
Yes.
Yeah, because that bulkiness, you can just decide, say, okay, well, for let not be bulky, we push them, say, okay, let we make one note for be under 1,000. Then it be one paper. So if you look at $1 when a 1 million, and then it will just be 10. If you take only 1,000 instead of now it be 100.
Yeah.
If you take 10,000, yeah. Madam Fadima, you sort of muted.
Miss Fadima, you're muted. Mute.
Oh, sorry, now the system muted. I'm sorry about that.
Okay, I'm not muted over here because I got a question, sir. And I want to go back to the ordering section because one of our viewers, Israel Ojeke Papa Senior, it said, Ms. Fadima, the question about the people who have been ordering the loans, those who are hiding the money during this period before the changes they will use these hidden money to buy hard currency, gold, diamond, those imperishment assets, those assets that will not they perish, we're not going for well, even commodities and holding them. Instead, they go use them money then they for buy, or like so they go change that to foreign exchange, then go still keep them. So it go still get a value. It says so these holders Sierra Leone will not be taken to the bank. Bring out these hidden monies will take place, blah 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 blah, but they will not do their transaction through the banks. So the banks will not have any extra foreign exchange because of these redenomination, blah 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 blah. The others will buy all they could, hide those commodities until when things settle down, and then the price for those goods would have gone up, and then they go use it now for it go damage with money or economy more. That's what the person is trying to say here. And I ask
Yes.
you again, Mr. Kagbo, like I've been
Yeah,
asking for
I
the small
want left farm for the closing because again, I
no,
don't
but I
touch
want
too
to
much
answer
in the
this
politics.
person,
But
please.
yes, but the person 100% correct. I remember I be send voice message to you and say
Yeah.
this approach is dangerous. Plenty time. Let me go back to 1985 when Momo be take power. What did they do? They go na them full man shop them, then go force them. They say, oh, for sell at lower price and stuff. Way then they backfire. But who of them now keep them goods them. They're not be they even bring a Canada shop. Then begin sell black market. And the price shoot up. Big time. So they're forceful tier near they work. Remember, we get a law where say, for all certain amount of money in your possession, we get a law. So then people are not saying in the first place not crime. So for letting go to a bank with a huge excess day money, they're not gonna do that. So like how this person say is absolutely correct. So what thing then go do, then go into foreign exchange, buy foreign money, keep them because that money there in value still remain. And where then plenty of them do that, waiting that they mean is the foreign money they become shorting because the demand don't go high. And remember, now them foreign money how they use for buy things than kind of salon. So if it's shorting, it put more pressure per the Leones. So the value of the Leones go down against the
That's
foreign
what
money.
Mr. Arthur. Yeah, that's what one
So
of the
a
other people.
100%, yeah, 100% correct. Let I quickly explain what in Ghana do. Ghana during the transition, they introduced this concept January 2007. It took them up to July of 2007 before they implement them. So during that process, now education they do. And where they implement them, July 2007, it take them back up to January 2008 before they phase out completely that old currency. So then give people them plenty time. But when the bank governor, they try for make something secret, not bad monetary policy approach. I don't know where Naya I go school, do me masters, and at the same time, I don't work for the government. Naya, I don't get much practical experience na SALONE. But yeah, if any central bank try for do them kind tier where give investors them heads up, definitely you job they in jeopardy. Now, make if you, I don't know if you observe that, then get regular period them where they do press release for let investors they know the direction where they want for take. You get for make them somehow predictable. So then go able for make informed decision and see if it worth for let it engage in long-term investment. So you get for give them people their time. You know they pull the rug under them. When you pull the rug under them, you they create panic. And they create a lot of what we call shadow economy underground. And that one they go disrupt the economic flow another way. And President Biondo and we come in power. And now this platform, I make it clear saying a wrong move where he decide for suspend all major economic activities. Say one for let them do investigation and stuff. You know they halt economy like that. You they really trample on people then confidence in the economic system. And the last thing that want for do. So if it take this approach, feel say it go score political point, no, it go hurt the economy. Maybe the supporters then go gladly say yes, the people who they smuggle money and stuff, then go after them, but it go hurt the economy. So that person
And
100% correct.
another Umar Mansare say, well, what thing will happen to the 50 cent and 1 Leone coin them? Because a lot of things then way another person say a lot of things they when they make in a small denomination than they use. Because I know say some people can say 1,500 for something, 150 leons or whatever it is, but if they're not can get change for give the people and coin very scarce, what thing go happen to them people and 50 cent where you go put they say I don't get change. If now one five, then they say, oh, I don't get 50 cent coin for give you or whatever. So then they keep the people and change. And they're not going to take where they own money shop, but then go take the money and the people have. What thing go happen to them people and they where you get for use the cent for and they then go completely take that away. Now that's this person say for ask you, Mr. Umar Mansare. Umar Mansare say please
yes.
ask him what would be the future of our cents, 50 cents and 100 leons, cents and coins them.
Yeah, I know say we run out of time, but this is a very good question though. Generally, given the thing that will happen, this kind of thing will happen, but who like the low end, because now we talk about the 1,000 and stuff like that, but the low end of the price range, what thing will happen, the traders then will get incentive now for round them up. So that will make prices for the low range commodities, then the low price range for let the price then go up. Yes. So that one day you will get an impact because we will get change issue. I'll forget change since we they knock off them zeros then they. So we're not go able for mint coins them take to that little denomination. So we get for make a hard sort of decision and say, okay, well, like Canada, for example, we do quite recently. The penny, the Minister of Finance, they sort of say, you know what, the penny they cost Canadians a lot of money for minter, for let them make them. So as a result, they abolish the penny. So what they do now, they either round them down or round them up to 5 cents. So we get for do that kind thing there. Unfortunately, Boku traders them and officer then go round and down because then go lost. So now up, yes, exactly. Now up highly likely. Yes, now up then go round thing.
Then they pass the losses too. Now the people of Sierra Leone, they make the losses. And then like I say, where inflation go up, things then go up, price then go up, the people they not get the spending power, it affects them. And then they one of our brothers say they say now yes, so say what in the use Mr. Mesa, they say what in the use for introduce the new currency now when the economy is terrible. What is the purpose? For driving the cause because of lack of basic needs for the people in a salon, they're not going to affect. This is very important. This is a very, very important. That's why I say I want Mr. Kagbo Foka help we talk about this because this they make we livelihood. Man, we need see now they play lucky deep. If we make winner, if we eat them, but we cannot be taking gambling where it can to the livelihoods of people. That's why I have Mr. Kagbo here for he can help we for understand what in the bank governor to do. Like I say, he gets so much experience with the Canadian government as he say now in a senior, not only waiting a call, it then at the top side now for him. They go inside bank then for do risk management for see say, hey, if you put your money because the federal government, like he said, then say the federal government over under the federal government's FDIC, then therefore watch the bank how they make. So in one of the people where they go say they go observe what's in the bank that they don't know if you take this step, it's risky, people the money, people the livelihood, we cannot crush our economy. So now in job done, that's why we bring and come again. It don't say where I know you give voice, but I bring and come say today if we can with we for help we for talk this business. So we don't tell them that we know say when they enjoy this program today. I'm glad the way we all come for can talk on on them. But we go find another time back where we go make Mr. Kagbo come for can really explain to we explain, because it been tell we once upon a time 2018. I know say it talk say we get for tie with belt because we get for crash first before we go, and at the crash with it, and so we belts they don't tie we other than tranga with people and they suffer. Prices are going up. We yeri for that BBC waiting and call where the mommy they say I mean they buy 1 dozen cup rest. I just put 1 dozen day, but now na 9 cup rest they buy. I mean they buy this, but now sometimes and they are not get eat for itself. I go get for give me picking. You hear teacher they say we picking them kind of school. Angry they catch them, and if angry catch you, you're not able for land. So all them money business here, all them decisions they are what they make, they affect we picking them. They affect, and we and the diaspora we carry the burden. We in the diaspora now we carry the load of we people them, and we they contribute a lot to the economy of Salone. That's why it's fine for we understanding here. So we're going to talk now their social media. Let we for talk sense, information what we able pass on for let we explain for let the next man understand. They want the way they cheer on like how. You know, they say today one day where they owe the money, they go pull them, but then there is a thing we go get for Apple. There's an effect. Anything we will do, there's an effect, positive or negative. And we economy they per life support. We economy they per waiting a call. Let me take a caller quick, then we can round up and we will give Mr. Kagbo in last word. Caller, good evening, please. Waiting at your name and who shall you call we from? We can round up just now. Thank you so much for holding, caller. Waiting at your name and who shall you call we from, please?
Good afternoon, 105, Washington, D.C.
Yes, sir.
Little
Yes, sir.
Rob
Go ahead,
Mott,
sir.
the zero plus the zero and the zero, which we're not going able to put which one at the zero will make the Leones. But anyway,
Yes,
this message somehow is for Mr. Kagbo. I'm glad for your voice. Me think to say we for improve with domestic resources to finance the industry then, like forestry, FLPNB, some other ones then we go able to generate and produce both inside and outside of Sierra Leone. So we can able to get a strong Leone like the good old days in the 80s. But right now in the position, we not produce much. Then we begin do infrastructure. All them area with the farming area, we modernize the road, we modernize the fishery department, apprenticeship for the youth then. Let them become technocrats, let them become skill worker. If you go to the mining area, most of the people that really drive this bulldozer, 6-wheel and trailer, they're not Guineans, and some come from another African country, especially the French-speaking country. We get to learn we young people then for be productive. This is development in politics. We're not going to talk about party. Forget a strong economy, not economics, but the way this year we get to able to produce. We get to invest in our utility system. We get resources in Sierra Leone. We can make cement and rock stone. We get another resources again, that redstone. We can make bricks. So we get to invest into the industry then, so we Leones can be strong. We can use them home and abroad. That's all I have to say. Thank you very much.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you, sir. Thank you. We appreciate you. You think, but you talk on like just quick question. I know say you get from Mr. Kagbo, but I know say by your voice self and everyone they will not say you know old timer. You talk on that long-term business we get. We always they talk on long-term stuff the way Salone been get. And people are not elect for you read that. And then have been the teen. We don't talk so with people that have been business. There was middle class in Sierra Leone because of business. People and they open business and they open factories and get all the resources then they. So you and I know say you now one of the people them where you can call you, they talk on development. How we forgo about because we don't lost for the longest time. We don't debian.
Yes,
For the longest time, we don't neglect here. How can we go forward with this, sir? What in your own opinion?
Yes.
How you feel?
We modernize, and you take like the fishing industry now. We modernize most of the things then. Upgrade them to a standard way we go able to produce. People not go like for Yeri the old time, but the old time was better off than today. Look the mess where we are now in foreign in the currency. The good old days when we produce the cacao, the piassava, the ginger, the so much we've been sell abroad. Even places like Mabela at that time, where them in the pool coal, them in the supply to them same ship, the railway.
Yes.
We modernize it. We're not going to say because now it's no. If them say all the old people, then the old people they all for die. You're not gonna get grandma and grandpa today. So we get to modernize everything. Like then they talk about Black Johnson fishing. You know, the government don't have to start Black Johnson. They can go Tumbo and all these places where now fishy ground and modernize them. Where we can get cool room and we can even sell we fish them abroad. When the Chinese come to Sierra Leone, then get them trawler, when they take the shins, now they then the pack them, they label them made in China. But not to China, then take the shins. Inside SALONE water. Jamil Said been they do the same thing. Jamil been they catch me snapper and tingo seller in Europe. You see, so we got to modernize, but all these things come on the integrity of the people that will they put in that position. We know we need people that know we na your profession that. Now go take that man when they say na butcher, you go make a surgeon specialist. No, these are people we know, and all this side them leading to the industry. We go widen the roads them. All them police working synapse at checkpoint, let us find other work them for do. The timber, we update the timber. SLPMD. That was the time with the manufacturer and cabinet, and I went to prison department. When I went to Freetown, I went there. You see the prison workshop, solid wood.
Yeah. They began workshop in a prison.
Not get bench.
Yes.
Like you say in Africa, you know they be carpenter, you know get bench in a use. Without the sell timber, we not able to make bench. We picking then they go school, then they get for Chiago. Up to today, there's some place then they when a stone then they sit down. What's wrong with Sierra Leone?
Ask us the question. That's why I love the voice of wisdom here.
Yes.
The voice of wisdom here. This is not about party. This is about bringing the glory back to Sierra Leone. And that is a voice 105 Washington, D.C. Thank you so much.
People whether in America and Canada, you can see they use the road so they say we rehabilitate the road, widen the road from 2 lane to 3 lane. They expand the sidewalk so people and cars then go more access to the road. They widen the bridge. Now old bridge, but they modernize them so we can modernize the industry where the economy goes strong, and then people go live in a nice neighborhood. We get for improve, we get for develop, we land them. Now give the land, develop the land. Build affordable housing, low-cost housing. Not give you party support our land because we vote for you. Then it go reach a time we get the same problem, land not there, that begin set for land.
Yep.
Yes, sir.
All we need is modernization, upgrade. Waiting we be not get before. Waiting the colonial master be not let we able for upgrade them. Upgrade them, don't let things fall apart. Look the hospital fall apart. All sides for all the institutions and fall apart. You need a strong institution.
Yes, sir. I agree. Thank you so much for your wisdom. 105 Washington DC, and this man so they talk because they inside the development of Washington DC. They work for the DC government. They into public works and now engineer in Nowity they talk about. But we don't come to the end of the show because I've been really want for talk on another tweet today, but I not go get time because I see former president Anis Baikoma go how they call the country Zambia we see them, then put them. I want ask the question because I hear some people then they say blessing, 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 blessing. We're not going to talk about today, but we don't have much small panam. We hear blessing, 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 blessing. Oh, na mami blessing, na mami blessing. What is blessing? What's in a blessing? We picking leaders, they go represent democracy, then choose and go. Are we really our own enemies? That is the question. Them where we they ask where they see them 10 years so because they don't pick them for go run an election. But this is the same man where inside them party they know able to fix them problem. Democracy is not going on right now. Outside the day, where inside this same man now him be don't make long time ago he pulled the elected government inside there. But we're not able to talk about that this. But some of these things I see and I look at it say we safe now we your enemy them. They say he give up power. Yes, he give up power peacefully. That is right. He been get majority. Some people say he been get majority, he give up power. Yes, now we get the majority. If we make them because other country then Guinea do them, these other people they do them, they extend the term. That is good. But then when we want to put people in charge, when at them we get for pick the best among us. That's all I'm saying. But I go left and so forth. I don't know if Kutubu get 1 second. Wait, one much but then Mr. Shilo 1 second. We get for close. We get for finish. We get for finish. Then we want for Guy. But before we say anything, let me give Mr. Kagbo a last word first. Mr. Kagbo, to this what we hear about the bank governor, what we economy. SALONE economy, because we're not a grow, we're not a produce, we're just consuming. We're a country of we just they consume. We're not a produce nothing. We just they take, we just they eat. We're not a produce nothing. So waiting are your last word for this governor in strategy where you don't come up with now, Susa.
Well, to me, I go sort of they say not a good or bad thing, okay? Because and I will get any what we will call material impact on the economy. But if that psychological impact it will reduce inflation a little bit further, then that's a good thing. Because Turkey do them, then successful. Ghana, we see, say yes, then get success. But you get plenty countries that way do them, it really backfire for them. So again, Naya, then can talk say that he were not broke, not try for fix them. So why do not use other means for improve economic activities instead of this one? Because as I say, given the history, the three major reasons them for let a country do this kind of thing, we not face their issues then they. Inflation, they don't try. Inflation at one point, except for this June, but they be don't bring come now to single digits. So to me, therefore, we don't continue with our path there. Because it talk about transactional cost and all that stuff then there, but what about now the cost for getting rid of the old currency and the cost for print their new one here? And this new one you still get for continue for printer. So we look to me personally though, I not believe say a warrant for doing at this point because the major things then they are not see them in play. Like all waiting they talk by psychology and all that they correct, but I just not feel say again if not coins like how they say because that bulk way that they say don't have forget big bulk notes and stuff like that and make the 1,000 the 5,000 coins it not say anything but that it just say no more than will be 1 leone 5 leone. So if you make that in the coins and then it do it they do so then they go reduce because let's say if you go for 10,000 then give 10 or 1,000 then they bulky. So but if you get rid of the one then they and then you begin the bill at 10,000, maybe you go able to address that bundle kind inconvenience for carry them around. But now they are go tap and the thing where I they hope and pray as Sierra Leonean, let the bank governor not take this initiative because of political reason. Say this go give them opportunity for redesign the currency and put probably the government, the favorable people them face now the new currency. And they hope do that. Because if you do that, that go really no warrant for let we do that at all. I know they're saying that that's not the plan, but given that most of the things the way they happen these days in a salon, it's all political, all politics. So to me, as I say, if it done right, we go benefit from that psychological impact. But again, something we no broke, not here for fix them. I go tap this. And I want to tell now
Thank you
all
so much,
Boku
Mr.
Boku
Campbell.
Tenki want
And
to
a lot of
invite me,
people are
and it will
saying
be
thank
pleasure.
you. A lot of people, then they write, say thank you for the clarification. Because I tell you, I say me people there, Mr. Campbell is the man. We can't to economic side. We say I say power party today for Kanaya. Because you know, say na power with them and power all team from work by force, whether I like it or not. If you can help me for understand. Thank you so much. Mr. Campbell, who is the CEO and founder, one of the CEO, the founder who was former CEO, when now not just the founder of VOS, and also an economist in Canada where they work for the federal government. We tell you boku thank you, sir, for where you can to be. So I bring
And
Professor a quick
one last thing though, before you pass on to, one last thing before you pass on to the panelists, I want for send this message to Sister Matilda. Insef don't ask me several times for let a camera in show. So this I go make am fair enough. Sister Matilda are open for can you show anytime you want me for cam. I owe you one. So thank you and God bless you all. Thank you.
Thank
Family.
you so much. Well, like you say, when you get twin them, you get for know how forgive them, but we make the one sock, the other one for sock. So God bless you for that, because it is all about Sierra Leone. The mission here is Sierra Leone moving forward. Mr. Kutubu, we just see a tweet. We see a tweet with former President Quick na Zambia. Some people say he's blessed. Some people say why him. What do you say to that tweet? Where you see there anything for add to it? Quick. You said
My God, I will address that tomorrow morning in a Salon Talk Forum. By God power.
thank you so much. And to you, Mr. Shillon, anything else you get for Rob Motts?
No,
Because
ma'am.
we even be one for
No,
talk about the mayor, but they were not able for say don't
no,
go for
that's
international
fine.
help.
That's fine.
What
I
do you
think
think of that?
we cover a lot of ground. I hope we will probably discuss that issue there again, even if Mr. Kutubu broadcasts them, because these issues don't get old. But next week, if there is space, we can put her in there in terms of the tweet and the former president being an election monitor. Yeah. So for right now, we told me view until next week or another time.
Mohamed Kanu say they do it now. Mohamed Kanu, we don't go over 2 hours. We going over. We don't want to make it too long. Let people then go able come and watch. We're very sorry. We're not go able again. We don't take too much time off. Una time safe way there. And also when they enjoy, we like I say every time, it is the voice of Sierra Leone and you, the people. We the people now we voice, now we platform this, also we they talk, everybody respectfully, they give opinion, what you feel, nobody not the bashing company here. We respectfully try for understand each other, and the mission is Sierra Leone to push Salone forward, to push we agenda forward, for make we economy able, for make sustainable changes where go able for benefit with people them, especially the young people they out there. They celebrate youth day last week. I think it was Thursday or so. It was International Youth Day. Young people them, and they would don't see one of the things that where they talk, where they do the peace talk in a salon. They say one of the things you know not for left the youth they out. The youth therefore involved. We get for create jobs, we get for create factories, but also we youth they don't lazy. Some of them get lazy spirits, they get lazy mentality. Sometimes we get for create jobs for we say. We get for make it is very difficult. We know that, but certain times them we don't hear people them back where they complain say you go call and for go do apprenticeship program now yeah they know I work but they want get all the money. No, we get for work in everything we do in labor. We get for yield the fruit of our labor. We self get for put on everything inside it. So till next week we get for stop here so far. we don't waiting at the bank on what you take from him. If you get any question, you send them to Mr. Kagbo, na VOS, he go come back, he go answer una waiting at the team. So thank you so much again, once again. Without you all, there's no VOS. This is the voice of Sierra Leone. So till next week, I say, I love you all. Remember, God is love. Go be on beautiful. Go be on you. If you see me the shine today, do you are not jealous me? Go work on yourself. Tomorrow, the sun go by you, the cloud they over me. There are many, many, many stars in the sky, and everybody get placed inside it. The stars are too many for us all. So everybody gets a space, everybody gets in purpose, everybody gets in mission. Now life. So find your purpose, find your mission, and be that light and be the change that you want to see. Till next week, I salute you all. I pass on to my co-host. God bless we all. By God's grace, we will come back again. By God in power, we will come back again next week with another edition. Una stay safe. Corona is real. Take heed to whatever the government is saying. Remember, say we begin and don't begin die by corona. Let God avert and from we. But hey, we got to do your own part. So I pass on to my co-host, Stanley, and tell una goodbye. And we will come back by God in power next week. Thank you.
Well, goodbye, everybody. Good night. Thank you for listening. Thank you for participating. And thank you for tuning in. We hope when I go join we next week. And we hope that when I enjoy this session. So thank you. Good night or good morning. Take care. Bye-bye.
Until then, good night to everybody.
Thank you all so much. Good night, my people.